Are we live? We are live. Wrong way.
2 cells, 1 pack. I wonder, could be also... You probably never thought about 2-pack 1 cells, right?
I don't know. 2-pack doesn't make sense. How do you have 2 battery packs from 1 cell?
No, I'm just joking because it would be 2-pack.
We're gonna add 3 cells, 4 cells, like add in
3 cells? Yeah, we're upping our voltage.
Okay, but we are live. I actually checked on the internets of things, and we are live. So hello, everyone.
Perfect.
Can you guys hear us all okay?
Yeah. Can
Comment
you guys hear us okay?
Yes.
Comment. Do
Yeah.
anything.
Wow, live. Oh,
Naset is here.
In the house.
Ooh,
welcome.
exciting.
It's
We'll
2
talk
a.m.
about
in
Naset
China,
too.
so it's dedication that he's here.
Yeah, that's
He
big
is usually
dedication right
awake at
there.
2 a.m.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right,
still
people are
8
slowly
p.m.
coming in, and I guess we'll just ease up a little bit into it, and then we'll go to the first point of the agenda, which is warming up.
Well, I think before you start, you should explain to them your chip situation.
My chip situation. Okay, so I have Apple Silicon on my laptop. I have the M1 Pro. No, I'm kidding. We have a chip situation. We have hot chips. Albert has hot chips.
I have
Christine
Dinamitos.
Christine has hot chips. I have
Oh,
flaming
nice.
hot lace. So the rule is when we will rate EUCs. It's a EUC tier list. Hopefully you see it from the title. And then of course sometimes we can disagree. And what's the best way to solve such a disagreement? Well, you can overrule someone by eating a chip, a hot chip. So I'll be probably crying because I can't handle hot stuff at all. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that's the chip situation. Are you guys ready for the hot chip situation?
I am not ready, but we'll find out how it goes. I've never eaten these chips before. They look really spicy.
I can just like smell the spice. Yeah, it's more spicy than me in bed. Yeah. So there will be a lot of puns. There will be a lot of puns today. We saw a comment already from the Gabenator. It will be a punishment this stream, and he is very right about that. Both Albert and I, we like puns. Like Christine, you like puns too, right? Okay.
I don't have the brain speed to come up with puns, but I do enjoy them very much so.
Okay.
Wrongway's on a different level. Brain just like spits out puns like no tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess I have an advancement at that, but like my brain is pretty slow with other stuff. So people are coming in. We already have 50 viewers. Very important message today. Very crucial. We are at 7,900 subs at the Wrong Way channel. Boom.
Wow.
If we could get to 69,000 today, that would be a dream come true.
69,420?
Oh, that would be even better. If we could get to 69,420
Let's
subscribers.
Yeah, and then Wrong Way can eat a jalapeno.
Okay, fine. I can eat a jalapeno. Like, you're good with this stuff. Like, we were setting up the stream, and you were just coming up with so many ideas, Albert. I was like, wow, I'm so happy I can stream with you.
Yeah, this is fun. It's always fun to do live streams.
Look at that. Paul E-Wheels already commented. Yeah, 69,420. So if you are not subscribed yet, subscribe to reach this heavenly goal of 69,000.
I need to get one of those soundboards where you can have all the sound effects, and then you'd be like, ding, 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 ding.
That would be
fun.
That would be
super
amazing.
fun. Coming next, the next live stream. Yeah.
Nosfit is very active in the chat today. Well, let me just remove the Kingsong.
No, there's no brainstorming whatsoever.
No. It's
That's
just
cheating.
brain. It's just brain farting, really. At least for me. I don't know how it is for you guys, for you, Christine and Albert.
Our brain hasn't started yet.
It's too early in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah,
like
it's 11 a.m. here in Vancouver, and it's
Okay.
what, 8 p.m. your time?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
8 p.m. in Europe. Yeah, I mean at least in Poland. So yeah. Anyway, we got comments coming in. We have try everything. They can't wait. We got electric e-heads. By the way, he's a great rider too. He does many jumps. I met him in the UK. Love it, Mr. Wrongway live streaming. He's the man inspired us all to ride
I like the
EUCs.
purple and blue, yay.
Yeah, I'm glad you do. There it is. I wasn't sure about like what wheel to put here today because I wanted to put the M10 because I'm lazy. I didn't want to put a heavy wheel on it, but the tire was actually too wide. I couldn't fit it into the table. So yeah, the tires on the small Begode wheels are wider than like the big wheels we have. Alright. All right.
Size doesn't matter.
but thickness.
It's all about the thickness. Yes.
It's all about the girth of the tire. All right. Planet Ice. That was a long laugh. That was a long laugh.
I just like Christine's delayed laugh. He's getting really red right now.
And
She's
we
in
don't
for a
have any
treat.
jalapenos yet. Some words for your German community. Guten Abend, Ulf. Ich hoffe, es geht dir gut. That's just words for Ulf, not really for the German community. I hope that the German community will have legal EUCs. Like, that's the biggest hope. Can you imagine, Albert? You're just like riding along and police comes up to you and you're like, just don't write that. I'll take this away.
You know, though, I think that's becoming, unfortunately, I think it's becoming more and more of a trend around the world because here in Vancouver, we've had a couple runs into the police already.
Right.
And I will say the frequency we thought was going to go down, but the frequency,
it's
unfortunately, has
getting
gone
higher.
up.
Right.
Yeah. They
That's
won't take
very
away the
unfortunate.
wheel, but they pull you over to kind of educate you about how they're not allowed on the streets.
Yeah, if you don't have a good attitude, $600. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean they give the tickets, but you're
But you
able
can
to
still,
dispute
right?
them, and like
Oh.
they don't really hold up in court. But it's
Okay.
more so just the troublesome of it all, you know. Like you got to go to court, and
A lot of work.
it's a lot of work. Yeah,
And you're just like riding around like scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're just looking out constantly for police.
I mean for people who ride on the streets, I guess so. I
Yeah.
haven't ridden on the streets in a long time.
You know, we just stay in bike lane, right?
Yeah,
Bike paths are the best. Like they're just so chill, especially compared to the street. Oh, Ulf says that 600 Canadian is cheap. So let me tell you how it is in Germany. Like in Germany, you could pay upwards of 3,000 euro if it's like
holy smokes!
like a repeated crime, sort of, because it is a crime. They base it on the lack of insurance, and
Yeah,
you
same
can't
here.
insure it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I heard of several stories like of couple thousand euros for people riding, you know, just in freaking EUC somewhere, like even in the woods, like where you
What?
would never
Like, not even on-
expect police. Yeah. So a guy in Munich kept riding his wheel like several times, and in Germany the law is that if you do the same crime over and over, you will get a higher fine. And so he got stopped like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. I'm not really sure, but after some time, he was actually sentenced to prison for 3 months.
what for riding
3
in
months
EUC?
for riding in a UC.
What the heck?
Can you bring the EUC with you to the prison?
Oh my God.
Christine!
I want an M10 5, please.
I'm so glad you're here,
if
Christine.
I was in prison for like 3 months or 3 years or whatever, I don't think my first choice would be a Begode wheel just in case it breaks and I can't get parts.
Oh, and back in the, like, here's your MS PhD on M50 cells. Like, take care, dude.
Give me a nice, reliable wheel.
Yeah, but here we go back to Ulf. He says, like, yeah, it's a serious felony here, and that's very unfortunate. So, yeah, we do need to bring awareness to that, because there's a lot of riders. There's a great community in Germany. I met the people in Berlin, and lots of great riders, happy people, like people that were suffering from, depression, and they get up to ride and they feel happier, and then you get,
There's a huge unspoken mental health benefit for riding electric unicycles. Like There's so many people that I've met who've like quit smoking, quit drinking, you know, got off other addictions onto the EUC addiction. But I mean, the EUC addiction, at least it's like somewhat healthy because you're going out there, you're spending time with people, you're getting some nature and some vitamin D, you know?
Absolutely.
Family bonding too.
Yeah. And like even, was it Seth Johnson at Amped? He started that new thing that he partners with mental health, a nonprofit. So I think that this part where you kind of get people off the really negative addictions into this is super beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you.
The on the positive side, I will say that in Calgary, they've actually allowed EUCs. So they've gone the other way and they're fully allowed and legal now in Calgary.
We should move.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, in Poland, they're also legal, but only in certain places. Like Poland is like heaven for cars. If I can like tell you a backstory, probably you know this from my stories.
You mean your diesel van stories?
Yes. No, not the diesel van stories. The stories where I'm like you know, complain about cars on the sidewalk. So yeah. In Poland, like the police or the lawmakers just try to get everything onto the sidewalk so that the street can be, you know, just for cars and sometimes motorcycles. So the problem is that the law in Poland is that you can ride on bike paths that are separated from the road, and you can just go 20 kilometers an hour. And then there's just and then the law states that you can't actually ride in between cities. You can't ride on the street. When the sidewalk and the bike path ends, can't ride there. So they say like, you know, what's the point? Like, where do you want to go in the end? How do you plan your road? Yeah, exactly. So I'm super happy that, you know, it's in the law because that makes us just a bit safer. But the law is just so, you know, weird that it doesn't benefit you all that much in real life because, you know, it also states that you should get off from the unicycle to cross a street where there's a bike path crossing. So,
I mean, I think that rule though for getting off the device, like when you ride a bicycle, I believe you're supposed to get off the bicycle, walk across the crosswalk, and get back on the bicycle. It's just that nobody follows it, right? So
no, it's different here. It depends on the type of the crossing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the bikes can actually ride. So yeah,
you can look at Jeremy Perman's comment. He was a full-time meth and fentanyl addict, and he swapped for a GT Pro, which is amazing.
Wow,
like you're getting way more mobility. You're getting healthier. Like that. It's cool. Like to me, that's
a success story.
So yeah,
F in the chat for Jeremy. That's amazing. Mad respect.
It's huge.
All right, guys. So we are 80 people now. We are gonna kick it off with the first, with this first subject on today, before we get into the actual tier list, and that is the Kingsong F22 Pro release video. So let me share the screen with you guys, and just because we love, you know, different wordings and stuff with Albert. And then
are we going to watch this and then comment at the end or comment while it's playing?
I think it's best to comment while it's playing. So whenever you want to stop, tell me. So let me just go back to comments here. So let's watch this here. The Kingsong F22 Pro. We didn't get the F22. We already have the F22 Pro. Amazing.
But in a couple months, we'll get the Pro Plus.
You just wait long enough and we'll get a perfect wheel. It's like the infinite room glitch, you know? Like the hotel that has infinite rooms. It's just about to buy the new wheel, but another suffix is added.
Pro Max with 5 suspensions.
All right, so let's watch it.
Let's go.
New launch video. What is the future of EUC?
I mean, it's kind of ironic because they're kind of behind.
Wait. I already have to stop. All right. Faster speed. It's a good way to phrase it, for sure. Better suspension, bigger battery, stronger motor, super.
I mean, it's really funny. It's really funny that they say all these things though, because it's like faster speed. It probably won't be faster than Begode wheels, right?
Yeah.
Because Begode wheels always holds the crown for fast.
Wheel.
Yeah, super
Right.
bright light. Like I think LeaperKim and InMotion have the super bright light down packed. Now
Especially
we need to figure out how to
LeaperKim,
like aim the light and not blind people.
yeah. Exactly.
Like better suspension is super vague. Bigger
Yeah.
battery. It definitely doesn't have a bigger battery than other companies out there.
No. That's not the point, Albert. It's a bigger battery than prior Kingsong wheels.
They're comparing to within their own company.
But then they should say, what is the future of Kingsong? Not
Yes,
Yeah,
not
that's
future
right.
of wheels.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so you're making a good point there, Albert. All right, so lock song. Okay,
But I mean, the S22 actually had a really bright light. It just blinded everyone too.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, I mean, this one is even super brighter. So let's keep on watching. See what else there's to say. By the way, here's like range select, and they press 1. I know they are just using some sort of stock footage here, but it's just, devil's
Hey,
in the
this is
detail.
already a step up from their, the rip off the Nike commercial.
Oh, this is just becoming a roast stream, but what did I say? Kingsong burned itself with the S22. Oh my, I'm doing
Literally.
too much. I'm doing too much. Okay, let's keep on watching. Christine, what you think about the statement?
Them from Kingsong?
Well, I mean, they had to take one letter out because they couldn't fit it lengthwise.
It's Cretes.
It's Cretes. It secretes. Persistence secretes miracles.
What is a Crete?
Really counting every single letter.
I just want to know what a Crete is.
They're keeping it authentic. The
Oh,
Chinese, right?
it's too funny. Okay, I gotta stop.
Okay, I keep on going. Classic and future.
They're classic. Classic Kingsong.
I don't even know. What that
Classic
means.
Kingsong is like good Kingsong, like 18XL.
Future Kingsong is
It's F in the chat. Let's go on. Yeah, the F series, exactly. F in the chat. F20 stock footage of F35 Raptor, or no, it's the F22 Raptor. Sorry, I'm wrong there.
F rings future.
And then we have the spike pedals.
Wow.
It's also they're spike. It's not spiked pedals. It's the pedals.
It's a single
That's-
spike.
In a minute.
It's the your optimum version.
No. Stop. It's a spike pedal. And then if you can buy the additional spikes too, just like separately.
For an additional cost of $5
Like
per spike.
per spike. Okay. Built-in display.
Wow.
I know, we never had that before.
It's so innovative.
Then the suspension is something I'm actually genuinely curious about. Like, I know it's probably super heavy because of that, but I'm curious how the fast-A suspension works when it's like not, flexing the chassis a bit. So I'm kind of curious about that.
I will say though, I am kind of curious about it, but I think that there's a couple of things that really kind of bug me. The first thing is, from what I understand, and I could be wrong.
Oh, actually, it's not fast-A's. Sorry.
It's a DNM.
Oh, okay, it's DNM.
But from what I understand, I believe it's air pumped. So the questions that I've seen online is like, do you have to make sure that the pressures on all four sides are basically around the same?
Oh,
And
wow.
then you got to pump 4 times the suspension.
Wow.
If you get into an accident and you dent one of those stanchions, will it
Yeah.
screw one of them up? And then the other thing too is like we've gone so far away from these narrow wheels because of the necessary need to add fairing plates. And this is probably like the narrowest power pad mounting available.
Oh, yeah,
on
that's
any
true.
EUC.
It's like barely wider than a pedal. Or it's
Like narrower than the T4. It's super narrow.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So like
That's
you're going to slap a
unfortunate.
fairing plate on that just to be able to put pads properly.
That's very unfortunate. Well, Okay, and let's keep on watching, I guess. 100mm suspension travel, just to have.
I think that's a
bigger
good
numbers.
sweet spot.
It's a good spot. I always like more, but yeah, that's what we get here. At least more.
But I
than
think we're also
LeaperKim.
realizing that at this point of EUC is like it's not so much how much you have, but also how you use it. So
And if it
like,
works for a longer time.
Yeah, the LeaperKim ones at like the 90 or 85 millimeters works quite well with the damping that you have available on it. And it can actually perform better than some wheels that may have more just because they did it well.
Right. Electric Dreams asks, how do you use it? Albert. Okay. 3,100 watt hour powerful lithium battery. Look at that. Will we get shrink wrap? Probably not.
Probably not. But it's for easy access, so you can diagnose the BMS.
Because we'll break so often. Sturdy anti-collision handle. I guess that's very much inspired by LeaperKim. But it's metal, so it will bend more.
So that's the thing is, like, honestly, I prefer those handles to be nylon.
Yeah.
Because at least if they break or they get bent out of shape, they're super cheap to replace. The problem with the Extreme and the ET Max is when you get into an accident, it's great that they're there, but then you're spending hundreds of dollars replacing them, and it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
I'd rather spend like $50, you know?
Plus, it's better with the nylon because it doesn't bend. Like, if it breaks, then it breaks. But it's better for those, like, small impacts. Hollow shaft. Just giggles. Christine,
got the favorite RGB.
Do you like the RGB, Christine?
No.
No.
Well, when we had the S16 Pro, she made me rip off the speakers and turn off the RGB lights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not a fan of RGBs, Christine? You're not a fan of RGBs, Christine?
I do like it, but just not on the wheel.
How about the Blitz one? The Blitz is RGB.
Oh, was it?
At the very top, but it's more subtle.
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Begode lights aren't bright enough, you're saying?
I think if you don't see them, then they're better for you because you don't hate them.
Yeah.
Those lights remind me of you know, the back old days when you have those black and white TVs. Oh, not black and white. Maybe those bigger TV.
Yeah.
And you will see this on the screen when the screen is frozen.
Oh, right. That's true. That's true.
It's meant to be broken. Oh my
Oh my god. Oh,
wow.
Christine.
Oh.
Oh.
It's like the old classic version of the blue screen of death.
It's classic. They said they are classic, right?
Oh my god. Oh. Oh, the static. Okay. F22
Wait, is
Pro
the static from our mic, or is it static from something else, or what?
No. I think the static from the RGB. That's what they.
Oh, I see.
what they
Okay.
mean. Yeah.
Pro is coming.
Boom. Break the definition. Subvert everything. Or break the subvert definition everything. So that's it. That's the warm up for today's stream. Guys, let me know
That was a
in the
very
chat.
good roasting warm up right there.
It's very warm already. It's a roasting warm up. Yeah.
Even
Guys,
Christine's warmed up.
Let me know. Let me know, guys. What do you guys think about the Kingsong F22 Pro? F22 Pro. Let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
I mean, there's a couple comments I was talking about RGB versus speakers. I guess they never mentioned whether that's a choice still or not.
Mm-hmm. So you either get a speaker or RGB. We know what Christine would get.
None.
Lighter weight.
Just give me a lighter wheel. All right. I'm making already the tier list screen ready in the meantime, so we can check it out later. Boom. All right.
RHB?
What'd you say?
I don't know. Alf is saying, guess it's only RHB now. I don't know what RHB stands for, though.
Maybe it's RGB.
Maybe it's RGB. I don't really know. Oh, yeah. Omidil. At least they did not steal the trailer from another competitor. Or did they?
Do we want to check out the Apex 01 video from Hajjadar?
Yes, at the end of the video, actually. Or should we?
Yeah,
do
we'll
it
talk
right
about
away?
some of the upcoming wheels at the very end after the tier list.
Yeah, the F22 Pro it was just for entertainment, really. Like, was a little bit of information, but mostly entertainment purposes. Oh, we got some comments going in. For me, RGB and speaker are like gimmicks. I'm totally not interested about those, and in my mind, only children are interested about those. And insecure people. Oh my God.
Oh
you really
wow!
don't like,
Shots being
you
fired.
really don't like that. You really, literally, you enjoy literally nothing about. I guess, Christine, that's your point of view, maybe?
Yeah, I'd rather have more batteries.
I mean, I will say it depends on the type of wheel. Like for a smaller wheel, I like the RGB because then on the street you get a little bit more visibility.
Yeah.
And then on longer range wheels, I do like the speakers because then you can actually like rock out to some stuff while you're just cruising at 60 down the road.
Yeah. Or you can just like, you know, go to a friend's place and you have like a barbecue party or whatever. You can just leave the wheel there and like blast some tunes.
The only counterpoint to that, which
Yeah.
I think for me, I've always been against speakers, is because of the fact that, you know, those JBL speakers, like the JBL Clip, they're like $100.
Yeah.
And the sound quality is
So much
like
Much
100
better.
times better than any speaker on any EUC.
I did like the S16 speakers though. They were pretty good. But most of
Yeah.
the time, yeah. The M10 speakers are so trash. Like the other day, I had
Wait,
some
that thing has
M10
speakers?
I didn't know.
It has speakers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mine has. Like I went I showed the speakers to a friend of mine, Kinga, and I was like, hey, look, it has speakers, and she was like, oh, they sound like trash. Just turn them off. So yeah, I cannot agree with you on that a lot.
I mean, I think having your wheel, like in terms of like the party aspect, like when I went to China and me and Jack were hanging out, we took his, I think it's called the Fido, that little like Moto Campo thing. And we went to the random place in the forest to, you know, eat some skewers. And that thing had a really good small like inverter power adapter, which was super useful to like run fans or charge your mobile phones or things like that.
Yeah.
I think if our wheels could do something similar with a small piece of tech, I think that would be super cool and way more useful than a set of speakers on a wheel.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
Just because the batteries in our wheels are so big.
Yeah.
and they're powerful too, you know?
Yeah.
So you can charge your laptop with it. Like, I also don't get it why wheels don't have a built-in charger until now. I just want to
Oh,
carry a cable.
I'm against you on that one. I feel like it's extra weight when you don't.
I
need
know.
it, really.
I know you would be. And then like I know it's tough to also repair it then, I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
like I just don't want to carry the weight. I'm like I just want to have the cable.
Just get a saddlebag and put it on the Velcro.
Yeah, I probably should. Oh, yeah, I should do that. All right, anyways. Oh, Wukash is here too. Now I know you're Nick. It's my friend Reap Mortality. A great jumper. He was actually a big part of finding out about the veteran Lynx issue with the dips. So yeah, happy to see you here in the stream. All right. Anyways, shall we start with the tier list?
I will say to Omedal that there is no mirror between us and we are in the same room. I'm going to bust that third wall right here.
That's the comment you were referring to. All right. Send it to EUCs here too. Anthony, good to see you here. All right. So let's start with the single use tier list. I made it very pro, especially for the screen, for the stream. It's my first time creating a tier list. We saw a tier list already a while ago by Jack, Electric Dreams. So if you haven't seen that video, maybe check it out. I think that was.
Is that the one that last year that you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, but you got to make a tier list every year because there's so many new wheels that come out.
Right.
And so all of last year wheels are becoming kind of obsolete based on the new releases.
Yeah, that's very true. And they improve so quickly as well. So we got, how many EUCs do we have? Like about 20, I guess, that we will rate. And once again, we have a bowl of hot chips. And anytime we disagree on something, one of us can eat a chip and change the tier that we are judging the wheel on. So yeah, Oh, Electric Dreams. It's getting late. Go get some sleep, man.
You can watch this afterwards. We'll post it on Wrongway's channel.
Exactly. But yeah, happy to have you here nonetheless for the first part of it. All right, so let's get to it. First wheel on this list is the InMotion E25.
E20.
Sorry, E20. Yeah. Sorry, E25 is the suitcase. So, what you guys think about the E25?
E20.
E20. I'm professional. I swear.
Very professional. I mean, so the thing I'll say is that, like, when we do this tier list, as a disclaimer, like, it's like, I would say kind of rating it based on how quote unquote important it is to the market. It's not just about like how much performance it has or how much speed it has, but like how well does it do its intended purpose.
Yeah, and what value it adds to.
Yeah, and we do have all these wheels in order of cheapest to most expensive, just to give you some kind of background. And the later wheels, as you can see, maybe wheels that we haven't ridden yet, so we'll be a little bit speculative.
Those
more so wheels that we'll be excited for. Yeah, exactly. Whereas the wheels that are currently out are wheels that most of them I think we've all ridden.
Yeah.
So we're just basing it off like its intended purpose, right?
Exactly.
So to start us off,
I
would say for the E20, I think that it is a really, like, I really appreciate the wheel on, I would say even like an S tier wheel. And the reason why is not because it's super easy to learn or like it's quote unquote cheating for some people, but the underappreciated aspect is that a lot of people who may or may not be open to riding an EUC because they look fast, dangerous, scary, in my experience, have been open to trying the E20.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a huge growth of market appeal that we can appeal not just to the alpha male rider.
We have seen a lot of kiddos and ladies.
Even grandmothers.
Oh, yeah.
Like we had a rider who's like, he has a kid. He has like a 9-year-old kid. So he's probably 40 something in my guess. And his mom is probably 60, 70, 75. And she came out to an intro to speed because we had these E20s just to give it a go because she thought it was interesting.
Right. Yeah. Christine, you got some 2cells to add to that?
I think it is as not based on performance, based on what the new rider could do on it. It's a great stepping stones.
Right.
Even I stood on it was really hard for us riders to go on it, but for new riders it's perfect. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like it is hard to turn because of the two-wheel aspect. But if you kind of break down the learnings of an EUC rider, the E20 is absolutely pivotal for them to learn how to control the wheel forward and back. It is absolutely pivotal for them to figure out their body weight mechanisms. It is pivotal for them to learn how to mount and dismount.
Yeah.
And it allows them to get used to the speed because that is one of the big hurdles when you learn how to ride is like once you start, you're kind of scared of that speed, but you need that speed to kind of balance.
Right. Yeah, I would probably lean more towards A tier just because I would like it to be a bit more durable, but then at the same time it's very cheap. So the cheap entry price is definitely helping for people to learn on it. I think it's definitely a wheel that like any EUC shop should have because as you guys say, it's amazing to learn on. Like I didn't try the E20, but back in the day, I tried the predecessor to that wheel, which was the V3 Pro. And that wheel was also great to learn because like the first hurdle you have when you start to ride a wheel is, how do I even stand on it? How do I, go low speeds? And it's so much easier on a two-wheeled device. So although probably I would lean a little bit more towards A tier, just because I would like to have a bit more quality, a bit more of a, maybe longer lifespan of the wheel.
So when you mention quality and durability though, like what are you specifically referring to?
I mean, the plastic is kind of a good material choice here because it's elastic, so it wouldn't like necessarily break on the smaller impacts. I don't know, like maybe you can tell me a bit more.
Like we've had 3 E20s, and they've been through
A lot.
probably
Yeah.
like 50 to 70 different people riding them,
Oh,
and
wow.
they've been
Yeah.
launched, they've been like smashed, they've been
Everything.
dropped, they've been thrown into curbs.
Okay.
And like, sure, the plastic gets scratched, and that
Yeah.
black LED ring can fall out sometimes.
Yeah.
But as a whole, the wheel still works,
And the motors
functionally
and
it's
battery,
perfect.
everything.
Everything's
Everything
perfect.
is still good. Yeah.
Okay, then I take it back. Then
It's super like I've had zero durability issues
The
with
only
it.
thing that fell is the seal on the edge of the pedal.
Oh, there's that. So there's
Yeah.
there's a rubber
That's-
seal that they put around the edge of the pedal, which falls off really quickly as soon as you scrape the pedal.
Oh yeah, I know which one. Yeah.
And then there's the black LED cover, that ring that can
This
pop
one?
off,
Yeah.
and then the center white plastic that can pop off. But they're all just
You
like
can just smack it
they're
back
just
in.
popping
Yeah.
off. So you just smack it back in, and you're good to go.
All right. Well then,
But, like,
the
there's a
S-tiers
couple
well
riders-
deserve.
They fall off the wheel, and the wheel runs into a curb, and the wheel gets like 4 feet of air and drops onto concrete,
No
and you
way.
pick it up and keep riding.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing then. Okay. Then I shouldn't say so much if I didn't actually test the wheel before. So that's a fair point. That's good to have you here, guys, because it's like some of us tried some of the wheels more. I tried some of the other wheels more thoroughly. So yeah, thank you for that input. All right. So we got all right.
Before
We
we-
started out. Yeah. Tell me
Yeah,
more.
before we move to the next wheel, do we want to mention some of these comments?
Sure. I love your moderating.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So we have Attila Hajnal,
Yeah.
which is what is the oldest EUCU road?
I think the oldest one I rode was an air wheel, just like Attila. I don't know which model it was, but it was like the one that cuts out after 15 kilometers an hour.
Oh,
You know,
we
I
rode
was
our
just gonna say
orange
it's
one
funny you
too.
mentioned that because we had an air wheel that we were using to teach people how to ride,
That's what
Yeah.
I learned on.
and that's what Christine learned on. And I was showing somebody how to like lean to like move the wheel, like how to
Yeah.
control the wheel. And as soon as I leaned into it, it cut out.
It's
Yeah.
like this. It's just like this. You just need to lean, and it will go. And then as soon as you lean,
It
it
cut.
goes.
And then I just face planted. And then they're like, "We don't want to learn this
not learning
anymore."
Oh crap! That's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah, the other two things I want to add to the E20 though before we move on is
Yeah.
the difference it has with the V3 Pro is the fact that it's super cheap. Like
Yeah.
at $400, the V3 Pro is over $1,000. So at $400, it's kind of in that impulse buy kind of region where you'd be like, "Oh, I'm kind of interested in the scooter or EUC or whatever. Let me impulse buy it. Let me see what it's like, and then go from there." And
Mhm.
the other aspect that people don't kind of give it is it kind of does, if you're open to it, as an experienced rider, it can teach you other skills like how to pendulum or go backwards.
Go backwards. Yeah, it's very easy on that EUC. That's true.
So like getting your feet wet to learning those skills and then transferring them onto a bigger wheel is definitely very helpful.
Well, that is what I'm trying to do right now. Learning.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah, getting the feeling.
And it's actually more powerful than the V3 Pro, probably too.
I actually never rode a V3 Pro, so I can't compare.
Okay. Yeah, it was very weak. It had also like tiny foot plates. But yeah. Well then, we got the first one down the list. Then we have the Kingsong S9. Can I just or do we agree on that?
I mean, if there was a lower tier, I'd put it in a lower tier.
Yeah, I mean, did you actually write that wheel, Albert or Christine?
So when we were in China during the Kingsong tour,
Yeah.
they wanted me to ride it, but they have a weight limit. And so my fear was that if I had jumped on that wheel, it would just break.
Oh, yeah. It's possible. It's not impossible to do that.
And then when Christine rode that wheel, it almost looked like she was a new rider
Oh, I
again.
did not know how to write that.
All right, guys. So I can actually tell you a bit more about that wheel because I had it for a longer time. I was supposed to make a review on it, but I never did because that was back in the day when I was just not reviewing any wheel without a smart BMS. So in the end, I sent it back, but I kind of regret it because that wheel was so fascinatingly different than anything I've ever experienced before. It's not only bad; it's like actually harmful. It's
What do you mean by harmful?
So you know how it has those pedals on the side, right? And when you ride a wheel and it falls, the pedals go in, right? So with the Kingsong S9, to get the pedals out, there's a small button underneath the sort of, I don't know, skin of it. It doesn't fucking the freaking basketball thing, and then you press the button and the pedal folds out. So and if you want to close it, it just closes on itself. So imagine if you're a child or anyone trying to ride an EUC out in the streets. You go like 10, 15 kilometers an hour, and then you fall from that thing. The pedals fold in, and it just becomes a bowling ball.
Oh my god.
Oh, when I was in China too, my foot came up and it just kept spinning. Remember?
Yeah.
And it cut out by itself, right?
Yeah,
That's what I
kinda
mean
cool.
by it. It's actually dangerous because I think the only way where you could actually safely use it is in a gym or like a basketball court or whatever, because
what I was
it can't just ride by itself. Like with any other EUC, it falls, it will stop eventually. This won't.
Yeah.
Like
That's a good point.
it's actually kind of terrifying. The other thing about it, you know how it has those ridges here on the material. So it's an amazing feature because it actually makes even ground uneven. So the ridges are not only painted on, they're actual ridges, like in a basketball. So if you're riding, it's like dig, 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 dig. It's amazing.
But I have a counterpoint.
Yeah, tell me.
You can tell your speed without telling your speed.
I'm certain that's how they intended to use that wheel.
It's like one of those, you know, when they paint the strips on the road, and then like depending on the frequency, you can tell if you're speeding or not.
I don't know. I tried to turn on that wheel. Like eventually, I got the feel for it, and it wasn't that bad, honestly. It's a hollow motor. It's a tire without air, so it's tough to ride it. It's uncomfortable, but you can get a feel for it eventually. And it wasn't actually so bad after I rode it for a bit. But it has like negative power. It has and it had such a big chance because it's a hollow motor. You know how you in the rims you usually see the rim, and like the whole width of the rim is the magnet.
Mm-hmm.
In the in the Kingsong S9 you have such a wide rim but like such a tiny magnet, so they could have sticked a C990 motor in there, but they didn't, and that's a shame.
So like a one wheel motor.
Yeah, just like the biggest width you have, like a Wii pad motor. So that's what I can say about it. It had a magnetic port too. It just like snapped.
Like charge port, you mean? Or
Yeah.
oh wow.
The app didn't work with it at all. So I wanted to calibrate the wheel, but it wouldn't. And then I talked with Kingsong, and they said, "Oh, actually, you need to turn off the wheel, turn it on, and keep holding the button, and then eventually it'll start calibrating."
Oh.
I mean, very obvious technique once you have like calibration in the app as a button to play.
It's kind of going backwards.
Yeah, it's I really like the feature though where you could like pick it up by the pedals, and then you would lift it up and the motor would like spin sort of. You could hold it by the motor, and the pedals would stay like in the same spot because it will keep balancing.
Oh, because it's self-balancing. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like the rooster kind of method.
Yeah. So
I thought you were talking about like that guy with the Extreme who like held his motor out, connected to the wheel.
Oh, I saw that video.
Like spun, like tilted the wheel, and it just like spun out of his hands and killed it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, it was different with that wheel. Because with that wheel, you're actually holding by the tire itself.
Yeah.
And therefore, the pedals won't spin. They just want to stay flat. So anyway, for the price of what, $500? Is it $500?
Still not worth it.
No.
No.
It's a bad gift, honestly.
Give it to your least favorite EUC rider.
Give it to. Okay, no, I'll stop myself. I have a big beef with a company. I won't go into that. Oh, okay. So I guess we agree on that. Let's see about the comments. Anything that's stood out for you?
No, it basically just agrees with us that it's a party trick, 5 years old, gimmick.
Yeah.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah. So I'm glad we all. It's a gyro ball. Yeah.
Gyro ball.
Fascinating. Whatever you call it, not worth it.
I think we've already given it too much time at this point.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Next.
All right,
M10
M10 Mini. I never
Christine.
wrote that wheel. Never wrote
You
that
didn't?
wheel. No,
Oh.
never had it. Yeah.
Did you wrote it, right?
I wrote,
I had one.
and it was gone in a day, I think.
It was probably gone in like a week. I probably gave it like a week of my time.
I don't like it.
Why?
I think I'm not an ankle wheel person.
So it was actually like one of the most uncomfortable wheels to mount.
It hurts
Okay.
so.
Unless you're wearing like work boots where you have like huge ankle high padding,
Yeah.
like
motorcycle boots.
it felt like it was gonna rip your ankle out of your socket.
Yeah. That's the new foam of Begode. Like it's also on the Falcon. It's very, very hard, but not in the way you would like it.
No, but
to be.
also the M10 Mini is really low, so it's like
Yeah.
right above your ankle bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
guess people like it for it being so small and they can put it like in their backpack.
Yes, it is.
But
Yeah,
at the
but I
same
still think,
time,
like,
the M10
The M10 5.
M10 3 even was better than that. I
Yeah,
think.
M10 3.
M10
Actually, M10 3 is like a god tier wheel. Like
Absolutely. Like
I don't know if
whoever
we're
has
ever
the
gonna
M-
get a wheel
yeah,
like that back. That was god tier.
It was golden. I loved it too. I had one.
Yeah.
Like I had the 500 watt-hour version. It was amazing. But the M10 Mini is like, why is it so wide? Why is it so low? Why?
And
like-
even we.
And then
gave
all
it
the
to a
pads
kid
are
to try,
adhesive too.
and
The
they
kid
didn't
hated
like
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even kids didn't like it. So I mean, like honestly, that's probably like a D tier wheel to me.
I would
Yeah,
say
it's
it's
nice.
still a bit more interesting and functional than the S9. So I would give it a C tier, honestly.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I think you need one more tier below the S9 because it's gonna sit in that tier by itself.
That's true. That's true. But I don't know how to add that.
Agree.
It's okay. Don't worry. We'll just make it C. Put it in the C tier.
Yeah.
Okay, I put it in the C tier.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, that's fine.
It's still useful.
Yeah, but
Let's
even the
see
pedals
about
were
that.
also really soft.
Oh look, Mateusz actually
Oh.
commented that you can take it into a plane.
I don't know if I want to advertise that.
Take your Begode M10 5 into a plane. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, I don't
that's-
know.
yeah.
That's like a really quick way to get us banned, in my opinion.
Yeah. At the same time, you get with the plane to somewhere, like, where would you ride that wheel? Like, it's not really that useful.
The other thing too is this: is like, okay, let's say like the probability of it actually going on fire or anything along those lines
Yeah.
in the plane is very low.
Yeah.
But I will mention one thing is that I would say there's probably a greater than 50% chance that you might get a BMS beep. And when that BMS beep happens on a plane, it's not going to be fun.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Should we put it into D tier?
No, I think C. I think the S9 needs to sit in its own category.
We're just alone by itself.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get
Okay.
on with it. M10 5.
M10 5 is smaller A2, right? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's like an A1.
I've never returned.
I actually really like the M10 I think as like a
Right.
beginner level wheel, it kind of has a little bit more refinement than the A2 does.
Does it feel
it's
like
smaller.
an A2?
It's smaller than the A2. It's more comfortable than the A2 to ride,
Yeah.
and it has a lot of really good features.
Yeah. It has a good light in the front. Like, pretty good.
It has a god tier
backlight's
trolley
amazing.
handle.
Oh, god
that's
tier trolley
over
handle.
designed for its wheel.
You know what? Wait. I have an M10 5 here, actually. Let me show it to you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
Where is
Yeah,
it?
that trolley handle is super over designed.
I have never seen one other than a picture of it. I've never written one, so
I'm back. Was actually pretty close. All right, guys. So M10 5 trolley handle. Let me just really quickly stop that screen sharing. Boom. Oh, I'll put it on my lap. Okay. So
It's not heavy.
Shut up. So M10 5 trolley handle. First up, you lift it up. Keeps on going. Keeps on going. But usually you wanna have it like this, and then that's not the end. You can still also do this. So it's a pretty long trolley handle for such a small EUC. My
It's a
biggest
grower, not a
issue-
shower.
Absolutely. So let's get us demonetized. We're not demonetized anyway. Okay. So Yeah, the only problem with it is that it just like falls down by itself.
Yeah.
This doesn't lock in place either, but it's surprisingly usable in day-to-day scenarios. Like, I have no issue with it at all.
I mean, it's very usable because the wheel's so small and light and easy to maneuver.
True. So,
But I mean, with that being said, we kind of do have to talk about the negatives of the M10 too at the same point.
oh, is a random cutout on it negative?
Yeah, I mean, there's also the overheating problems that it has.
Oh, it's so toasty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really hot wheel.
Yeah, that's probably why it's such a shower. Yeah, let me give my 2 cents on that too. So I had a cutout on it like 2 days ago, super random. I have like 68 kilometers on it total, and I'm just like riding and boom, it just turns off. Like I just fall. I'm like, why? What's happening? But luckily, I'm training with kettlebells so much that my butt is now my butt protector. So I literally walked away from that, no pain at all, like first time ever. In any way, turns out the axle was like slightly loose, and I think this messed either with the software or the board, and I was going like on a bumpy terrain, and that probably caused it to happen. But still, like a random cutout after like 68 kilometers is pretty annoying to me. Like, I don't know how much they can fix it with QC, with software, with hardware, but that was pretty disappointing for me about this wheel. So yeah, I think it's a good wheel to ride around. I love to ride on it. It's like it has good pedals. The pads are like, they're fine. I just mounted some basic side, tape, like this furniture tape on it, which is like enough for me. The handle is annoying because it's like so edgy. It's like not comfortable to grip at all.
Yeah.
And I don't see the screen so much in daytime. It's a little bit too dim for my taste. So I don't know, without the issues for me, it's more like of a, I would say probably B tier. With the issues, I don't know if it should be like C or certain.
No, I think B
what do you
tier
guys
is
think?
good. I think B. You might want to screen share the tier list again.
Oh yeah. Let me do that. Yeah. Christine?
Yeah, I think I would say B tier.
I have no experience with this wheel, so
I mean, once they fix those small issues, I think it's like a B plus tier, like in between B and A.
It's a very good wheel to start on, but like I have this sort of I don't know, view on it that it's a easy wheel to learn on, but then once you get riding, it's easy to fall on it too, because it's easy to learn on since it has such a wide tire and it's like very easy to grasp the basics. But then if you go out on the sidewalk and it like just yeets you to the sides, it's easy for you to like lose control.
Easy to fall in love.
Yeah, easy to fall in love, exactly. So once you get used to it, then like your sort of determination and satisfaction goes back up again. But that's, I guess, why it's just B tier, because, I think like A tier in this category, I would say would be like a Kingsong 16S. I know, I like it a lot. It's
That's a very old wheel, though.
I know it's very old, but
it was my first wheel.
Yeah,
16X. I think you're talking about 16S. S isn't
Yeah,
7.
Oh,
You've
Like
never
the
seen that wheel
egg-shaped.
before.
egg-shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone commented, easy to fall in loving dirty and bite the dust.
You learn about this is where you say the A was it not the A2, the M10
Yeah,
is really good for learning how to fall.
I think so.
Yeah, because you learn how to fall because it forces you to fall.
Oh yeah, actually, that's a fair point. And it's not heavy, so it won't like really like make you have like big scars or anything.
Exactly,
Broken
and you're not going
bones.
too fast either.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
What's the
Moving
next
on.
one?
T4
T4?
Pro. Yeah.
No.
With every
No.
Begode wheel, I was like, wait, which one is this? T4 Pro. I just wrote the T4.
No,
So
there's a
T4
T4
Max?
Max. Yeah.
T4 Max. Oh, there it is.
Oh god.
With the green.
Let's just talk about it as a T4 in
T4.
general.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Because the rest of like all the different iterations are like very small benefits.
Yeah.
Incremental is the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Christine, did you ride a T4 ever?
No, not much.
You raced that T4 right before you crashed.
And I crashed.
But I mean, you
Oh,
crash
no.
on every wheel. Like anybody who looks at our channel, every single review or first look
I
and
have
first
a crash on
impressions,
it.
you crash.
Not a T4. It's just speed wobble.
Yeah, but I mean, speed wobble was. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
more than other wheels. I would say the T4 is like in a really good spot. Like when the first version of T4 came out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was around the 31 kilo mark. Like it was a really good bang for the buck for performance and
Mhm.
lightweight and size.
Yeah.
And so you see a lot of kids riding it and females.
Ladies.
A lot of ladies and
Mhm.
kids gravitate towards it because even though like you, Adam, and me, we think like the Blitz is super light and super like
Mhm.
super nimble.
It's
To
lighter.
like a 12-year-old kid, it's still like a really big machine.
Right, that's true.
And then, like if you
So,
look at like
yeah.
something smaller than the T4, there doesn't really have that same performance aspect to it.
It's just a Falcon.
Like a Falcon, yeah, Falcon's really limited, right, compared to a T4.
T4?
Yeah.
So I think
will-
it sits in that really good niche.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to talk about too. I just had very brief experience with the T4 when I was at Amped. I guess that was a year ago or 2 years ago already. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a very nimble wheel for what it is, like a light suspension wheel sort of. It doesn't have a smart BMS yet, I think.
No, it doesn't.
But it has the battery distribution board, which like it works pretty well with like
Yeah.
seeing like a dead cell or something. So I thought the pads were fine, the pedals were fine, and in general it's just like I think among like the cheapest options for suspension wheels, it's like a great bang for the buck actually.
Yeah.
Especially compared to like the V11 that has like, you know, the older V11 had like issues with the suspension. And what else do we have in the price category? Like the S19 with the BMS issues.
But S19 is way
S16.
more expensive. Like it's not
Yeah,
as affordable
S19
as
too,
T4.
sure. The S16 and perhaps, right? But that has also
Yeah,
issues.
but I
So-
still think a T4 has more performance than an S16.
Yeah, it's really. It's
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already at the point where the battery and the power is like good enough for you to like do most things in the city. Like not the
Yeah.
extremely crazy stuff, but like all of the stuff that won't get you like hurt a lot, but it's already a lot of fun.
But even like the T4 with the like, if you get the new linkages and DS200 and all that, it's a really capable off-road wheel.
yeah.
Like it doesn't have
Yeah.
the most travel, but for a smaller rider,
Small
it can at least get
riders.
them onto off-road. Whereas like with a Falcon, I'll still be kind of like weary.
Oh yeah. Especially also with that tire on the Falcon.
Yeah. So like for
So
me, I would
put
say
it
the
at
T4 is
A.
like an A tier wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So let's put it there.
Oh, chips
Yeah,
haven't moved.
great value. Great value.
What
All
hasn't
right.
moved? Oh, the chips
Yeah.
hasn't moved. It's because we agree. It's only when we disagree that we need the chips.
Yeah, exactly. And here, 4KJ also says that T4 has so much aftermarket
Yeah, a
parts
lot.
now.
Yeah, that's something that like is underappreciated. But like the T4 and the Master lineup
Yeah.
and the Master Pro even has so many aftermarket additions and options.
Yeah,
And they're offered at such really good affordable pricing that if you don't need to chase the latest and greatest, they offer a really good bang for the buck.
absolutely. And then, you know, you usually say that, people say that, oh, Begode comes up with so many wheels, but they actually keep on producing the ones that, you know, work for them. Like the Master Pro 2,
Yeah.
and here with the T4. So that's
Well,
very
there's like a
cool.
Master Pro version 4 now.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that's really cool because it's like almost the same shape, so you can like add a lot of accessories to it. Probably some of
Yeah.
the boards would work too. So that's pretty cool beans for me. Moving on. I think that's enough
I love
talking
Falcon.
about the
Yeah,
T4.
Falcon.
Yeah.
I've noticed that we've had a couple people asking about EX30 and Commander Minis, but to me, those wheels kind of launched, I think, middle of last year. So it kind of just got out of that cutout. So you can see that like Extreme, I don't think is included in this either.
No,
Is because
actually,
Extreme-
we
actually,
have the
Extreme is.
Yeah, it was
Extreme is,
late.
yeah.
It was end of the.
Yeah, so the Extreme literally came out like exactly a year from today.
Mm.
So the EX30 and the Commander Mini, I believe, came out before the
yeah.
Extreme.
Yeah.
And the S18 is just too old.
Yeah, the S18. Like I know we have the 50S version now, but there's like literally just you know, software and the batteries change. So
Yeah.
it's not much of an upgrade, really. I mean, it is an upgrade nonetheless, but it's not like a some sort of stuff that changed for like it did, for example, for a T4 Max or something like they have a more powerful board, different batteries, like slightly different color, whatever. So
Different suspension, different motor.
yeah. So that's a bigger change than just like slapping a different battery into it. So,
Yeah.
So back to the
Falcon.
Falcon. Yeah.
What do you think about the Falcon, Christine?
It did its purpose in the trunk with suspension, smaller wheel. It's quite powerful and nimble too. Right?
Oh yeah, some people might even say it's more powerful than an S22. Okay, so like the Falcon was conceived as like this commuter, put in your trunk kind of last mile wheel.
But it's not.
But in typical Begode fashion, when they came out with it, like the suspension was pretty good.
Yeah.
And the amount of power it has is pretty good. So you see people like jumping it and climbing hills.
Taking it to trails, a lot of
the local riders here in Vancouver, they actually take it. Shout out to like Tom and Eugene. They take it to like straight up mountain biking trails, and now it's like they've done these trails on their Master, and they want to go back and try it on their Falcon as another challenge.
They're trying to do Black Diamond with them.
Yeah.
And we have Leia trying to race with Falcon.
Leia's a 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
Yeah. And the other thing too, Seven Secret. Oh, there's Sills in the chat. So they're taking these Falcons on like bigger trails that most people wouldn't even take their Master on.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing is it's not designed for it. So just like your results may vary. And I will say that Tom did break his suspension because he did like a 6-foot drop, which I told him is not designed for that, but he said he enjoys doing it. Another thing is that Tom was telling me about this whole new category of riding where those trial bikes where they like jump from one rock to the next.
Oh, that's my favorite. Like
so he likes doing that with the Falcon.
Right. That's sick. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good wheel for that. But you're right that it's like not designed for that.
It's
like
not,
people are just like, the tire of it is a freaking slick street tire, and people still.
No, but there's the knobby version. Like we have a knobby version.
Oh, okay,
yeah. There's
I would
version.
prefer that probably too.
It's just the A2 knobby tire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me with the Falcon, like the thing that sort of doesn't resonate with me the most is the price of it, because it's just like more expensive usually. I mean, it depends on the dealer, right? Than a T4, and you just get so much sort of more value and range in that wheel. But I do like it a lot. I like the trolley handle on it; works great. The taillight is great. The front lights are like fine. The pedals are fine. The weight of it is super nice. It's lighter than T4, which makes it more trunk friendly and more combining it with public transportation friendly. I hated the pads so much though. Like,
oh, you gotta change it.
Yeah, you gotta change it.
Yeah, you have to change the pads.
But
luckily,
it
was the start of Velcro. So I mean, you rip off the pad and throw any pad you want on it, which is already really
but
convenient.
you need a fairing plate for that too, right?
Yeah.
Not if you have a one-piece pad.
Oh yeah, that's true. But with I just like cut off the brake pad on it.
Yeah, that's what I did too. I showed a video on cutting the brake pad.
Big brain. There it is. 2 cells in the brain. One's yours, one's mine. Sorry about that, Christine.
I mean, the one argument I have between the Falcon and the T4 is like they are a different class of wheel. So like, for example, for someone who has like a Master or Blitz or a bigger wheel, I would never think about buying a T4. But I would buy a Falcon because it kind of adds to my repertoire of options. Whereas somebody who's in the market of a T4 may not even need to buy another Falcon, if that makes sense.
That's true. And it is much lighter, and it has a 50S cells, and it's a newer wheel, and I think the suspension is still pretty solid for what it is. So, and
the front handle is really easy to pick it up with. So like the other day we went on a photo shoot, and I was holding one Falcon per hand while riding my Blitz to meet it with Christine. That's something you can't do with a T4 because you need two hands to carry a T4.
That's true. All right, so what would you put the T4 on? I would probably say it's like
Falcon.
Either A or Falcon.
I think A.
A or B tier.
Really. I think A.
Christine?
Eight,
Do you need us to eat
eight.
chips to overrule your V?
I'm thinking about it because I don't like the price of it, but I do like the product, and I applaud also Begode for making like a better quality. It's funny to say that, but better quality,
Bit
like
sour.
small wheel compared to the
Ooh, it's getting
S16.
spicy.
Oh,
Ooh.
you're already overruling? Okay, it's an A then, yeah?
Yeah, it has to be an A tier. Oh,
Okay, fine.
where's my water?
You're such an entertainer.
Oh, next
Oh.
one is V11. I gotta go to bathroom.
V11Y.
Bathroom?
Bye,
Okay.
V11.
Okay, Christy's gonna have a bathroom break. We'll continue.
All right.
Christine doesn't like the V11 because she started on a V11
Yeah.
and she got pogoed and
Mhm.
she smacked her ass on the ground. And to this day, she stretched one of her hip bones.
Oh.
So to this day, she's still not recovered from it.
Oh
And so
my
every time
God.
she feels the pain, it's straight up emotional damage for her.
Oh my God, emotional damage. I'll just answer that real quickly, but we have a super donation here. Super chat. Andre the Dragon, 5, I believe it's Swiss francs. Hello, I own a VMAX R40 Pro and I have the Kingsong 16X, but hadn't tried to ride it for a long time. I'm pretty sure the battery's 0.
What is a VMAX R40 Pro?
I think that's like a off-brand or like a brand scooter from China, I guess. I mean, they're all from China.
see.
But I don't know much, but yeah. I guess try to charge it. Thanks for the super chat anyway, and happy to have you here. So yeah, Pogo Stick, InMotion V11. I can relate to that too so much because back in the day, actually the person that lended me the V3 Pro, I lended him the V11, and that's exactly what happened to him. He got pogoed on a speed bump, and he fell pretty hard on it. So I really just don't like the idea of the suspension of on the V11. Actually, I have a V11 here. I have it from a friend because he's actually making SPD pedals for my Blitz. Super exciting.
What?
Yeah,
He told me they're only available on the Lynx. I was like, oh, I gotta buy a Lynx just to try his pedals.
No. Actually, we're making it for the Blitz now, but different story. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But I have his V11, and I initially was like, oh, that's a nice like light wheel. But then you go on bumps, and it just sucks. Like all of the force, all of the weight of the motor, control board, and everything. The bouncing is just like pretty annoying. So in total, I don't like how the suspension could break on it. I like the lights. I like the form factor of it. I like the kickstand still too. Like they also improved the mudguard with the V11Y, the front mudguard, the light. So it has some things going for it, and some people love their V11s. Like people just really like that wheel.
So I will say that the V11, like as much as we are kind of roasting it right now,
yeah.
I think that it sits in a really good spot because of like it has a decent suspension that's kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
B, it is very consumer friendly. So like it looks like a really good package. It has a really good tail light and a headlight.
The handle is great too.
The trolley handle is great. It's also not that fat of a wheel. It's really narrow.
Yeah, it's so nimble.
So it's super nimble and easy to kind of bring around.
Yeah.
And it's like at a really good price point. So I mean, like I would definitely buy a V11 over a V10F for whoever is saying a V10F.
Yeah.
I still think there's a really good place in the market for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
as long as you know its limits.
For me, the one thing that sort of cancels that for me is how hard it is to change a tire on that thing. And for people that have a shop where they live, like you guys in Vancouver, BC, it's fine.
You mean a shop in my house?
Okay, for you it's super comfortable, but for people that live in a city where they don't have an EUC repair shop, and you will have to most certainly either send it or you have a whole day of pain and agony from changing a tire, and you can do like a lot of stuff wrong, like the screws. You need to have the right tools for it. So for me, therefore, like otherwise, I would put it still in A tier because I agree on.
It's not an A tier wheel.
I would say it's just a B, really.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with B. Like with everything positive it has going for it, I think it's a good solid B.
It's a big fat B. InMotion V11B. Let's see if anyone like.
BBW.
Oh yeah, Planet Iceland. Exactly. V11, hardest to change tire.
Is it the hardest?
Wait. Let's think about that for a second.
So many tire change.
Is it the hardest?
I don't think there's a wheel by InMotion that it's harder to change the tire on than the V11. But other wheels? Begode, definitely not.
I mean, I would say honestly, personal feeling wise,
Yeah.
I would rather change a V11 tire than an 18XL tire. And it's only because of one specific reason is like, actually maybe like two, is you have to take off all the LED strips and everything and route them through
they're
the
annoying.
covers.
The plastic parts, right?
The plastic stuff's really annoying. And then the most annoying part is the Phillips screw head on the motor axles.
Oh yeah, just like on the 14D, that's true.
Yeah, like to me that's the worst. Like it's so easy to strip and ruin.
Yeah.
I would 100% do a V11 tire change over that.
That's a very fair point. So maybe while it might be like a bit for me, it would be a bit easier to make a change on the 18XL, but you can't make it that often and like not mess it up. Or like if you do it the first time, I think you're right. It would be easier to mess up that wheel instead of the V11.
Yeah, just like the way they put all the LED strips, like you can if you pull the cover off, you can like cut the wire, or like there's so many mistakes potential.
And when you put them back in, they can like pop out again.
Yep.
And you can put it in the wrong way. So that's that.
Yeah, those tiny screws will really screw you.
Yeah, and also, as we said, I love my V11, but I didn't write anything else. But yeah.
The V11's a really good starting wheel.
It's fine. It's very fine.
It goes fast enough. The suspension is good enough. The
it's light enough to handle it.
Yeah. It's light enough. It's narrow enough. Like
it's on it enough.
It's like a really good circle. It's not good at everything, but it's just really good in the middle.
And there you go. We have a question about pogoing. I got pogoed by the V11 a couple times. How do you place pads to lock in your feet but still be able to fold up the pedals? So I don't think you can actually do that. Like if you lock
I think with any wheel though, you can't really fold up the pedals once you lock your toes in.
Yeah, it's always.
Yeah.
Except for the kinetic bites.
Yeah. But if you would get the kinetic bite pedals that have like those teeth sticking out of the bottom, then you can get them into the pads. So if you would like, I don't think it's that important to fold out the pedals so tightly, but if it is for you, then kinetic pads, V1 or V2 with the nylon of foot plates would do that. That's a fair point, Albert.
We have a comment from Future Man that says that he would give it a C because he thinks the S18 is better wheel, and it's only a B. And I heavily disagree. I think the V11 is a much better wheel than the S18.
I never liked the S18.
I don't like the pads on the S18 a lot.
The pads, S18 repairability also sucks balls. You have S18 waterproofing is like one of the worst.
Also, just how it looks from up close. It's just like so janky put together.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the plastic sliders just go bad after like 100 kilometers.
It depends really, because he's also maybe in the chat, Łukasz. He has an S18 and it worked for a long time for him, and kudos to him. Mine had some sort of problems with the axle, but now they're hollow motor. So I don't know. For me, it's just so unrideable because of the pads. That's really the biggest like issue for me about that wheel. And
the pads
lighting is worse.
Whether or not you have Kuji legs. If you have Kuji legs, you love the pads.
Exactly. And Gavinator, S18 forever. There you go. I don't mind that wheel all that much, but I think for the bigger masses, and that didn't change for me for like 4 years since I did the review, or like 3 years. I think the V11 is just like more, I do Kuji legs, more consumer friendly wheel.
I think it's more well rounded. Like the S18 definitely has a good fan base to it, but the V11 is a really good wheel for most people.
Yeah,
to start out with,
and you have more range on it too.
Yeah.
All right, let's not get hung up on that for
what
too
is
long.
That wheel? Is that S16?
That's the S16 on the kickstand, exactly.
That looks
S16
so weird.
Pro. Yeah, because it's actually cropped. I could have like made it different. Like I could make it without crop.
That's okay.
But then the Blitz is even smaller.
All the big wheels are small. Look how small that Sherman L is.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the S16. Any thoughts on the S16, guys?
It's the one that I wrote, right?
Yeah. The one that you made me remove the speakers because it got in the way of your ankles.
Actually, I'll keep you guys talking for a second. I'll go to the restroom.
Yeah,
real
no
quick.
problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean we had the S16
Don't be
for
naughty.
a while. We'll be very non-naughty. We had the S16 for a while, and I actually thought it was a really great package. I think commuting with it was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite peppy.
It's just the range wasn't that great.
The range, although it has a bigger battery than the Falcon, the actual percentage used in the same commute was actually more. So like if I commuted, let's say 10 kilometers, the Falcon would use like, let's say 10% battery as an example, and the S16 would use like 15%.
Yes.
And to me, that didn't make any sense because the S16 had, I think, 1,500 watt hours, and the Falcon only has 900. So it made zero sense to me as to what was going on. And the only thing I can come up with is just the motor was less efficient.
I remember that. And it's thick.
It is a thicker wheel, yeah. And then the pedals are a little bit flat on the flatter side.
And you cannot fix it. How did you fix it?
Well, a lot of actually, to be fair, a lot of wheels don't have adjustability when it comes to pedal dihedral. So that's not something specific with the S16 Pro, but it is quite common not to have adjustable pedals. And yes, it is 84 volt. The suspension was really comfortable, but if you rode it too hard, you could bend the pins. And it's perfect timing for Adam to come back because I think he bent the pins on his S16.
I did bend the pins. That's true. Yeah, perfect timing. That's right.
Yeah.
So you guys were talking about how nice the form factor is, but the execution is kind of bad.
Yeah, we're talking about well, the thing that really got me was the range. So the range,
it's small when you like push it.
For the same commute, the Falcon used less battery percentage than the S16 did, even though the battery size is such a big difference. So to me, that was really telling. But I did enjoy the peppiness and the smoothness of the suspension. Yeah, and like how fun it was to ride.
Yeah, it's very nice to ride. I agree. Like it's so like willing to accelerate.
Yeah.
But yeah, the execution, like I don't like the assemble wheels so much nowadays, just because I have so many. I'm a little tired of doing that. But the S16 was like one of the ones that like stood out for me so much with like how it's done from the inside. It was like just holes all over.
And then having to like remove the whole top cover just to remove the motor cables to do a tire change kind of killed it for me too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean it was just by the way, we have a super donation, $20. $20 from Brandon. Look at that. I have to share that with you too, like in some way. Appreciate how you all challenge the industry in safety and stunting. Yeah, I mean, happy to help, right? We want to do stupid shit. We want to do it safely.
And Unibeat has a comment that the S16 is the one that dropped me in Cumberland. Well, it only dropped me because I found that the torque limits of that wheel were kind of low. So I would just ride around and just like dip the pedals and cause it to beat for fun. And then one time I did it, I like committed too hard and then it dropped me. Okay. But that's technically like my fault just because I was like having fun pushing it to the limit.
But the software is like, it's okay, bomb. It's like, it's
yeah. When we were in China, it did so well.
I think it's just because those Chinese people are so light and then like they're engineers, so they know how to ride it at the limit.
Yeah, that's true. And you also have a lot more range if you're lighter.
Yeah.
So for me, the range was like kind of fine, but also like for the amount of battery it has, it's like definitely
kind of
lower.
A little bit on the low side. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of the BMS issues of like the wheels that arrived and like some software bugs. Like for me, it wouldn't charge sometimes. I don't know. For me,
it does have a lot of those software bugs.
It's almost like a dead wheel to me. Like I would either see it or D it.
I will put it as C.
I think C.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a C.
As bad as the wheel.
Yeah, I don't think any wheel is gonna live up to the D category of the S9.
That's true. I mean, look at the lineup. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think it will just stay alone there. Yeah. So okay.
Don't get me wrong, like the S16 is a decent wheel. It's just that compared to the
It's
other things that you
curry.
can get in the market, like personally, I'd buy a Falcon over an S16, and they're basically the same price. I think actually the S16 is a little bit more expensive.
And you might like think that you'll get a lot more range on the S16, but that's not the case. Like
It's not, yeah.
Yeah. And then when it comes to like the durability and servicing of it, like it will be just so much better on the
And I
Falcon.
really hate that button, the sensor at the back of the
Oh, the lift
wheel.
sensor.
Oh my. That's like
What?
control.
Where? Oh, it was in the back there, right?
Yeah. So every time you like want to push the wheel somewhere, it like
And drill.
and it cuts out.
Oh, you're already
Also,
having a hard time in
Another issue: you lift it hard and you put it back in, broken finger.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but you know the lift sensor being at the back of the wheel is still better than the S19 being at the front of the wheel. Because there's so many
get
times I
onto
go to
that.
sit down and then you
Yeah.
hold the
We'll
thing.
get
And
to
yeah, we'll
it.
get to it.
Actually, a funny story about that. Maybe I could. No, okay, I'll tell the story once we get to the S19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped ahead.
It's fine. It's fine. We have the V12 now. V12,
The V12
actually
Pro.
V12 Pro. Didn't ride that wheel. Probably you guys. Did you guys ride that one?
Yeah, I will actually also have one waiting for me. I got to go pick it up.
Oh,
I kind of forgot
Right
that it
after
was
this.
there. Yeah, right after this live stream, I'm gonna go pick it up.
okay.
So I mean,
okay.
the only thing I will say about the V12 Pro is like the V12 as a general product, similar like the V11. Like it's a really good all around product package.
Yeah.
The V12 had its issues where like the MOSFETs burning and like the random acceleration cases
And the
And that-
axle.
and the axle and the battery issues. But with the V12 Pro,
Yeah.
supposedly the goal of the V12 Pro is to fix by putting the Raptor controller in and changing the batteries, is to get rid of alleviate some of these issues. And so
Right.
once you alleviate these issues, it could be a contender for a good commuter wheel because it has like high beam, low beam, IP whatever rating. Like it's probably one of the first wheels that actually had an IP rating.
Yeah.
And then like serviceability, I would say is average. Like it's not terrible.
Not too
It's
bad.
average.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a really good touchscreen for you to change your settings. It was the first wheel to pioneer pedal assist,
Yeah, it has acceleration assist, right?
acceleration and braking independently.
Independently.
It had really good trolley handle. It had USB ports for charging your phone.
Yep. I think it had both USB-A and USB-C.
Yeah.
All right. So where would you guys put it?
I need to see the tier list again.
Oh, sorry. I need to put it back
I
on.
think I'll put it beside the V11.
I think put in B tier. That's where I'd
I
put
think
it.
I need to sacrifice myself here.
Yeah.
So let me make the case for it first. Like, I have my PTSD with that V12, but that's sort of, I have it out of the way. I don't feel it so much anymore. The thing is, though, like my biggest pain with it is really the axle. I don't know how it is with the V12 Pro, because maybe they used a different material line or whatever. I would rock that wheel so hard if it had a hollow motor or like a thick steel axle. And I think the weight is like fine. I think the motor is fine. And a lot of the things that you say, Albert, are correct. That it's like a great commuter. Like people can like also really easily learn on it because because it has a good balance. It's not too heavy. The tire is fine. Like it has all of the features, but I don't know. I think they had such an opportunity to make the motor mount better, and they didn't. So that's why people might not agree with me, but I would put it in the C list.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is it spicy?
Oh my god. It's actually super spicy. Oh frick. Oh, whoa.
I agree that the V12 and the V11 are like neck to neck.
Yeah.
But because of that chip, I got vetoed, so it's okay. Someone's feeling the pain right about now.
Yeah, it's kicking in. All
Okay.
right, but
Is that a
maybe next time
master?
I need to maybe eat two next time because it could could kick a bit harder.
I think next time we do wasabi shot.
Oh yeah, wasabi seaweed.
I didn't get you there because I'm in pain. Okay, Master.
Master V4.
Master V4. Okay, let me start with this one perhaps. So,
Catch your breath. Catch your breath.
I like the Master a lot. I think even in my Master review, I was like very, very happy about that wheel. I think that the value of it is just like getting so much better over the years. Like it started out pretty expensive, but now like you look at all of the other wheels, and the next wheel that has the same capacity is like the Blitz, or going a bit further. It's just
and there's a good like $500 or $600 price difference. Like
yeah, exactly.
It looks close, but it's like a really big price difference.
So I think the price, it's like a great thing that it has going for it. The suspension is still like a bit last gen compared to what we have now, because we have just a lot more travel now. But at the same time, it's kind of similar to the
T4,
T4 and the Lynx, right? But
yeah,
in terms of travel. But it's more, I guess, is it linear or is it now more, how do you call it, progressive?
I think it's still a little bit linear. But the DS200 shock provides good adjustability, so you can get
That's
that
true.
damping
compression,
effect.
right, and the rebound. So it doesn't have a smart BMS, but it has the battery distribution board, which works pretty well. Good front light, tail light, almost non-existent. But you can see it a little bit. I think it's just such a good value package. So if you get into riding and you want to, go also on group rides, you want to go between cities, you want to try your, luck in off-road, this wheel will do it all. Except for the super crazy stuff, then you'll need a Extreme for it, or a Lynx. So for all those reasons, like I would put it up to like A tier. I think it's a great value wheel right now. Good
I 100% agree. I think it's a really good starter performance wheel for those who want to get into racing, or people who want to get into like trail riding but don't want to break the bank.
Yeah.
And you have huge aftermarket support. You have like Vince Ramirez linkage, Lockvo linkage, Hoop Height linkage. Like there's so many options to tailor it to your ride style. So even if it doesn't come out of the box, well, I mean, it doesn't come out of the box perfect, but you can tailor it very easily to your perfect setup for what you want to do with it.
Exactly. And all of the parts used are also great. Like it's easy to change a tire. The screws are right. All of the components are pretty like robust. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
S19.
S19. Oh, so now I can tell the story about the handle.
Yes.
So it's so funny because usually, so for those of you that don't know, the S19 has a handle in the front and it's capacitive. So once you like hold it, it will turn off the motor for like lifting it up. So that's the sort of functionality of it. I think now it's even just like on one side of the trolley handle where you have to sort of grab. So I was in the Czech Republic for going with for checking that wheel out with Ekolka, but they had a S19 there, and I was just going up to people, and they were on the wheel. I was just grabbing the handle, and the wheel was just like bunk. So if you ever see a S19, someone's riding, it's just like they stop, and you're just like.
It's equivalent to like the motorcycle kill switch.
Oh yeah, it's so freaking funny. So that's what you should do. It just for that. It's like it's a great fun factor wheel. Oh, by the way, in the description I also have links to One Ride. That's the store I'm working with. If you want to get any wheels like this.
Also, the pricing of all these wheels are in line based on One Ride's pricing.
Okay.
So for fairness, we took all the pricing from one retailer in order to get a very even distribution.
Exactly. So you can use the coupon code WRONGWAY there to get also a 5% discount. Really quick information here. So yeah, S19, Albert.
So S19, are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, tell me
When I rode it,
yeah,
the pads that are built into the wheel suck, and then they're like stuck there. So like your feet go into the wheel, and it's just like it just has one position. You can't put your own pads. You can't adjust anything. So if it's not to your liking, you're screwed. Okay?
Yeah. And it
when you
gets
sit
like
on the wheel,
slanted too.
it is slanted, yeah. And then when you sit on the wheel, the top of the wheel is tilted forward, so it always feels like you're falling off the front of the wheel.
Yeah, it's true.
The trolley handle also is not the greatest.
No.
We already talked about that lift switch problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
turn it off, though.
most importantly, it provides nothing new. It takes like an S18, adds the most terrible repairability score,
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
and then it's super expensive. And the only thing you get is speakers.
Yeah, a bit bigger battery.
But
Yeah,
like if you want the speakers, get an S16. It's cheaper.
or get
It's
a
a better
speaker.
wheel.
Oh, I speak.
Like to me, the S19 is like the only wheel on this list, maybe that I forgot about that will match the G tier.
Yeah,
I
Christine,
agree.
what you think about it?
Agree. It will be beside the basketball.
It's also orange. So for me, I really like the idea of the S19. I was like super excited about, Kingsong coming up with a lighter wheel than the S22. And I like the, that it's 100 volts. When I was riding it, I actually thoroughly enjoyed riding on it because it was so light and, agile and stuff. But, all of the issues with it, like the BMS, like I didn't respond to that email yet, so sorry about that. Someone wrote to me that he had a cutout because of a software update. I'm like,
Oh
damn.
my god.
We got a super chat, by the way, €5. Thank you very much. Energy et résilience from France or Canada, French sport. So thanks for that. But yeah, it's I don't know if it's D tier. I think I could actually agree with you on that one because it's just so unusable. Like you just can't put the pads any a different way. You can't like take out the plastic, and as you say, for some people it just doesn't work. You just can't have your feet there. And the brake pad, the speaker, also an issue when riding. So I did thoroughly enjoy riding on it, but I can't see myself like recommending that wheel all that much to anyone, especially now that we know the repairability issues of it. So yeah.
Next.
Yeah, the S19 has a smart BMS, but it's bad. Many wheels having issues with the BMS here. So even though it's smart, it's not really that smart after all. All right, Extreme. All right, I'm excited. What do you guys think about it?
It was Christine's favorite wheel, and we went to Northwest Electric Fest.
Yeah.
And at the time, the wheel hadn't come out yet, so we had Commander Minis. But Chance had his prototype Extreme, and Christine was riding it. And then later in the day, she was practicing some jumps, and she got a concussion because of a TSG helmet.
Oh.
And so she forgot everything of that day. She even forgot like the proposal and everything. And she was like concussed for like a good 48 hours. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And to this day, she has no remembrance of anything that happened of that day. But the only thing she remembers is
First thing I asked when I opened my eyes in bed, I asked him, I love the Extreme, right?
No way. Oh wow. That's crazy story.
Yeah.
So yeah, Extreme. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all have really good a really good opinion on that wheel. I loved it so much too. Like it survived so many of my sort of tests and like falls and crashes. And at the end, the slider mounting, the motor mount broke on the sliders, but it was the first batch.
Yeah, version 1.
So I fixed that and I sold it actually. I was very sad about it, but at the same time I was happy about the money. So now a rider from Poznan, was it? I think from Poznan rides it, so he can be very happy with it. Great suspension travel, awesome. I mean, good front lights. Even the stock pads are pretty good, I would say.
Yeah.
Trolley handle, tire power, like and reliability. I would say S tier really. I do like that wheel so much.
Yeah, I mean, like it had a really rough start because like the suspension had issues and the speaker had issues and whatnot. But I mean, like when they kind of refined it through the batches. Yeah. Today, if I were to buy one, I would say like, yeah, I would definitely recommend it to someone.
Yeah. Also, we got in a chat. I'm sorry to hear about that injury, Christine. Yeah.
Thank you.
For you.
I'm all good now.
Okay.
She's all good, but she doesn't remember what was bad.
Well,
Oh,
all right.
The Blitz.
The Blitz, the small
that's
Blitz.
tiny Blitz.
I'm
It's
sorry.
small because it's lightweight.
No, I just washed it and it turned out a bit smaller. All right, Blitz. I don't have it right now because, as I said, Camille is making the SPD pedals for it right now, which I'm super excited about. I bought myself some shoes with the SPD mount too. But for me, initially it was super exciting. And, it opens out like a variety of new opportunities. By the way, Planet Iceland gifted one Wrongway membership. By the way, last stream, Planet Iceland, I think gave like 50. It's amazing.
Yeah, there was a ton of memberships last time.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that, Planet Iceland. But now I have a leaking air shock, which is slightly annoying. And I saw that there's just suspension is just like the linkage is moving around quite a bit. I don't think it like hurts the ride all that much. It's just like sounds a little clunky. So, trolley handle a bit annoying. Suspension, super nice travel. Like the power, the software is amazing. It's super amazing to ride. It has so much torque. And you, Albert, probably like it too because you were involved in developing it.
I mean, I was involved in a little bit of the refinements on the control and software. I didn't really help too much with ergonomics because when the prototype got sent to me, all the cosmetic parts came broken.
Yeah.
Because they're all 3D printed.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could really test was the control software and responsiveness. And I would say that that's like on the people who think that the Blitz and the Master are the same wheel. Yeah. Anybody who's ridden the two wheels know that they're wildly different.
It's crazy. It's crazy different. That's true.
Because like the Blitz was designed to be a super responsive, stable wheel to fix. And it kind of stems a little bit from like my accident that I had at near AVS where I was racing at AVS with a cast on, is because I was racing a Master and I had the gnarliest wobble when I was trying to go for the finish line, and I dislocated my thumb and fractured it. Okay. And so with the Blitz, the goal of the Blitz was to have the suspension improved to the Extreme size or ET Max size to get the wheel to be rock stable no matter how fast you want to go. And then the third thing was the responsiveness of the motor so that like the wheel moves with you rather than you telling the wheel to move.
Yeah. It's almost like it pushes into you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree. Like it's super. I mean, couldn't agree more. It's a very powerful wheel. It feels totally different than anything else really on the market. Like it's crazy how big the difference is from the Blitz to like other wheels. Only thing is like we don't have a big amount of Blitzes out there yet. Yeah. So we don't know about repairability issues. We don't know if there's like some sort of things that don't work with it so well. For me, it was like super eye-opening. But like, would I put it on S tier yet? I don't know. Like, I'm thoroughly excited, but I'm still like a bit annoyed about the air shock and about the linkage being so, wobbly jubbly. Yeah,
I think as of right now, it's A tier until it kind of proves its chops.
Yeah,
I think so too. It's a very small A tier. And I think we have got some interesting question here. Does the Blitz have more torque than the Extreme? So as far as I can tell personally,
no,
I thought it was more. Like when I was going up a 45-degree incline, I felt like it wouldn't dip where the Extreme, like the Extreme almost feels heavier to accelerate than the Blitz.
It does. Well, it is heavier because it's not as responsive.
Yeah, but even the torque, I feel like I could dip the Extreme easier than the Blitz. So,
interesting.
What do you think about that, Albert?
I mean, I thought that the Blitz, torque as a general concept is kind of confusing because it's not like we can just pull a trigger and feel the torque, right? So there's a lot of nuance when it comes to torque. And I think like if you were to do a raw pull test where you hook up an Extreme and a Blitz to a pull test, and I haven't done this, so I don't know, I'm speculating. I would almost speculate that the Extreme would win the pull test. But because the Blitz has such a high responsiveness, it doesn't need as much raw torque.
So it sort of reacts on the rider quicker
Correct.
And then it can pull you up.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the thing for me is it also has so much more sort of horsepower. So when you're going up a hill and the wheel starts like spinning out, I feel like the Blitz reacts so much quicker on that than Extreme. Like the Extreme would, just not keep up with me yeeting it up the hill and making the tire spin, while the Blitz is just powering through.
Yeah.
So on a couple of occasions, the Blitz was the first wheel for me to climb up a dirt incline, which I tried before on the Lynx, on an Extreme, and at some point the wheel starts to dig itself in, right?
Yeah.
And with the Blitz, it was just digging itself in and going. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's maybe sort of an answer for you, Farky J.
Yeah, it might not have more raw torque, but because of that responsiveness, it's able to keep up really well, and it allows you to access that torque easier.
And it's a smaller wheel. Yeah. So let's move on because we have still a bunch of EUCs.
S22 Pro Plus.
Hey,
I don't think it's that bad. I think the S22 is still like a really good wheel because the firmware is so good for off-roading.
Oh, it is very good. That's true. And plenty of people still riding it.
Yeah, and it is a very light wheel. So I think that the S22 still deserves some glory.
Yeah. It was very glorious in its like heyday. Like people would just, change everything about the suspension and, do the biggest jumps like Mike Leahy. So yeah, you're right about that. Like ergonomically, is it the widest wheel ever made? It's so wide.
It feels wide, but I don't think it actually is that wide.
Yeah?
I think it only felt wide because of the power pads.
Like I was usually taking them off, but it still felt wide.
Oh, interesting.
Christine, what do you think about the S22 Pro Plus? So Pro Plus is like better batteries, right?
Yeah, it's the 50S cells.
Okay.
I've never ridden one.
Oh.
Yeah, we have never.
She never liked it, so she never wanted to ride it.
S22, S18. I tried it on and I got up. No.
I don't know. Like I think that they've refined the firmware, like akin to the Master V4. Like there's been a lot of improvements, and so like I'm very weary to judge the product based on its past issues.
True.
And so I think the S22 Pro Plus to this day, right now, like in this moment in time, is a little bit more on the reliable scale, except for like the slider system.
The sliders for me were working like not on a Pro Plus. I had at the time the newest version, and they were like I think if you're just not like doing some extreme hardcore off-roading, they can like last for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it somewhere like A or B is where I would want.
Yeah, I mean, it has so much of a legendary status, really. I think it kicked off jumping for me a lot too. So yeah, that's a lot of love for the S22 actually. Is it the highest?
V14.
Is it the highest Kingsong wheel that we've put here? I think it's the highest.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, EUC vibes in the chat. Love my S22. Just wish it was faster.
I mean, that applies to like every wheel you buy. Like, I love my Falcon. I wish it was faster.
Yeah, but the S22 is just like you push it a bit too much, it dips. Like, I think it's at the threshold where it's like too low, where it's like comfortable, sort of.
I mean, still 70. 70 is pretty decent.
What is top speed?
70 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, it's very fast. Maybe once I went so fast. I mean more the like torque.
Well, I mean, okay, so the Kingsong used to be a little bit conservative with their top speed estimates.
Yeah.
And I would say on the S22, it's like they use the Begode measuring stick where it's like once you hit 70, you cut out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that happened to a friend of mine in Paris.
Yeah, so most people ride it around like 55 to 60 kilometers per hour, I would say. It's comfortable.
Yeah. All right, we got a first disagreement. S22 tier above V12 looks off. So for me, it is more of a innovation thing because of the suspension. Also at the time was like pretty groundbreaking, I would say. And you can do there's so much more on that wheel than on the V12. And what's different in the price? I don't know really, but the S22 Pro Plus is still more expensive, right?
S22 Pro Plus, yeah, I think it's like 3,000.
Yeah, but I think you can just do like its intended purpose so much better, and it has also the hollow motor. And once you exchange all of the bolts for suspension, it does work pretty reliably. So I know it breaks a lot too with the BMSs, and you know.
But I mean, it hasn't been as bad nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah. I mean, last year I was at Bugsboarding in the UK, and I think Matt, a friend of mine, was just riding on it, just like bunked to the side, like boop, turned off. So I think it just gets a lot of praise because like Mike Leahy was jumping on it, and like a lot of us probably at the time were like pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So it's aging maybe not as well as it could be, but yeah, I mean, people could buy it today and still kind of be happy, especially if they ride in the city. Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's a good B tier wheel.
B tier wheel.
I'll keep it there.
I mean, to me, the V12 is also B tier, but you know.
You know what? Maybe
but,
just for the sake of a chip, maybe I'll put it to C tier.
Okay.
Unless you want to eat a chip too and put it back into the.
This is a chip competition now.
Well, I'm eating.
Can I eat chips to put the V12 and the S22 up?
We'll do whatever, dude.
Okay, we're gonna eat chips right now. How many do you eat? Well, just one. Then you gotta eat more.
You gotta eat one.
No, you gotta eat more.
Oh my god,
Eat like
so
3
spicy.
or 4.
Oh.
I got a house. Oh my god.
Okay, so
Wow.
the S22 up and the V12.
Yeah.
Okay, I eat 2 more chips and I put the S22 down. I'm fine with the V12.
I'm gonna do like that.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh man, this is getting right at home. Oh.
Look at that. We have it the opposite way around now.
If we had like a B/C tier, I think it would fit perfectly there.
Oh, okay. That was a lot of chips. Yeah, we had.
So
No,
sour.
it starts to burn a lot though. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. V14. I have a V14 right now. Where is it? Where's my wheel? Oh, here it is. I'm dumb. It's the chips.
It's on the stand.
Yeah. All right, so V14. I like this wheel a lot. It's very torquey. I love all of the is it the first wheel except for the V11 to have make lighting right, like the front light and the back light? Usually just one of them is correct. Fairing plate as standard, pretty cool. Suspension travel not the biggest, but still pretty solid. I even like the cast pedals. They were pretty good for what they are.
And they're really light too.
Yeah, really light. Easy to work on. Sealed sliders.
It was the first wheel that Christine did a tire change with no tools.
Oh, actually,
Well, I mean, just the tire part, of course.
There's a tire part.
But the way the rim is designed, it has a really good groove, which makes it super easy to do tire changes.
Okay.
It also pioneered the battery connectors, and if you get the 50S version, you can run dual battery mode. So that's kind of cool.
What's dual battery mode?
So instead of running 4 battery packs, you can make 2 battery packs and make it 1,200 watt hours. And then it can allow you to do some off-roading or some city riding without needing such a heavy weight.
Oh, so they can actually just ride with 2 batteries. That's cool.
Yeah. So they have this you can get this 3D printed file, and it 3D prints the battery box. So you remove the battery and you put this 3D printed structure there.
Oh wow!
And that way you can still put the fairing plates on and ride it as is.
Whoa! On the 50S, you say?
50S only, yeah, not on the 50 GB cells.
Yeah, so you can't put 2. You can choose which ones they are, like the front or the back, or is just
So usually we recommend, or I would recommend the corners.
Yeah.
So either top right, front right, and rear left, or front left and rear right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Just
exciting.
to keep the weight balance kind of equal, right? Because you don't want it to be too front heavy or rear heavy.
Yeah, that makes sense. So for me, I'm just slightly annoyed at it. Maybe it's the batch 1 issues or something, but for me, the suspension, the damper broke, and I had to fix that. And now I have some sort of, we were talking about it the other day. I have some bushing or bearing problem. So when I have some sort of big bump, it just like rocks back and forth a little bit and there's like this jitter sound. So I reached
Are you
out
sure
to,
your motor bolts aren't loose?
no, because on low speed, like it doesn't happen. Like it doesn't happen with the rocking, just when I sort of bounce down onto something.
I see.
So I asked InMotion about this, and I'll get probably replacement parts pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like the only slight annoyance I have with it right now.
But the other thing too with the V14 that I really like is like everyone kind of hated on the linkage style suspension.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many Begode linkage styles that were kind of stuck. But with the V14, it actually like okay, maybe not the batch ones, but like the later batches that I received, I've let some riders try it, and it's been like it probably has one of the best small bump absorption. Like when it's new, like it's
so progressive,
amazing. Yeah,
so progressive. That's true.
So they did execute the suspension really well. Like it may not be reliable, but the idea of execution was done well.
Yeah, I think it may be like suffering a little bit from the sort of advertising of it, because I think it's a great city wheel actually. I feel like it has insane torque. Like the torque is it's just so brutal. And just riding out of the city, you have the trolley handle, which works amazingly well. The lighting. The mud guards are great. Like it's easier to change a tire on it. So I think like this, like, is there even like a street tire option on that wheel, or is
there is? Yeah, there is. There's street tire.
So with a street tire, I feel like it's like a city adventure, because off road. If you go off road, you need more suspension travel. I feel like the battery boxes are a bit lower than on other wheels. And if you like really want to go hardcore off-roading, like 18 inches or 20 inches today, is a bit more manageable then. So I don't know. I don't know where I'd put it, because if it works, it's like pretty spectacular. I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
I mean, another small thing is like, okay, we said it a while ago, the headlight and taillight are both really great.
Yeah.
And for a city adventures, the trolley handle has two positions. One is super tall, which makes it super comfortable for bringing it around, like walking around the mall or whatever.
Yeah.
So I will say that 100%, my V14 that I have, I use it predominantly for city cruising and like going to the store and those type of activities. I do not take mine off-road.
Yeah. I tested it once on a motocross track, and there, like, the lack of bigger suspension travel, like, did hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
Christine, what do you think about the V14?
It's too heavy. So it's a small wheel. I think it's too heavy.
So what tier do you think it should fit in?
I think it's a tricky one. I want to put it A minus though.
I want A- too.
Yeah.
It's like an A- tier.
Yeah, I
because
guess,
it does so many things really well.
Yeah, like you can't be mad at it really. You look at it like, oh, come on. It also doesn't have like all that many like electronical issues and stuff. I don't think it's like a faulty wheel per se.
No, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we are a pretty solid A tier here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exciting. All right.
What's that? Is it the Lynx?
That's the Lynx. Yeah, it's the only wheel that I have backwards on.
You gotta take up the.
I'm gonna say this straight up right now. Is like, as much as people that know me, like I don't like LeaperKim firmware because of like when you brake, the pedals tilt.
It's a lot better now with the newest update, though. It's
is it?
Really,
Maybe I should ride it again.
It's so different, Albert. Like you know me. We talk about software a lot.
Yeah.
It's amazingly different. It almost feels to me like Begode firmware now.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's crazy good now.
So yeah, as much as I don't ride LeaperKim because of that firmware mismatch between me and the wheel, I will say that on a performance, reliability, suspension quality, robustness, etc., for me, it's definitely S tier.
Yeah, I can put it there right away too. Christine?
It's too heavy for me.
Oh,
But I mean, it's only because you weigh like 95
Yeah.
pounds.
I have hard time on it. Like,
do you
if
want to
I-
overrule this decision?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Yeah.
Not
I
worth a
heard
chip.
a lot of good thing about it. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
not the kickstand.
Yeah, for me, mostly the communication with the company like sucks a little, and maybe I'll make another video about that. I want to do. Okay, no, I won't spoil anything. But the wheel itself is like very, as you say, Albert, robust and reliable. And now for me, like the same thing was the issue for me, the software. And now with the newest update, I literally took it out for jumps today and like just riding around town and, you know, the last couple days. It's just so different now with the new software. It feels like they fixed a lot of the issues they had before. So yeah, I mean, many people ride it, many people love it. I think it's still a bit too big for what it is. It's a huge wheel. That's like maybe the biggest annoyance to me about it. And especially if you're a lighter rider, as you, Christine, people might have trouble controlling it. I feel like you need to build up the muscle, or you might just need to be heavier to control it. So if you're a lighter rider that doesn't have so much oomph to it, or if you're just a lighter rider in general, you might have a bit of trouble with the stability of it, sort of. And you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I want to kind of touch on some of these comments here.
Yeah, tell me.
If you talk about like Insomniac said about the wobbles, I will say that like sure it has wobbles, but does it have more than any wheel of that similar class? So like the Master, the ET Max, I think they all will have the same issue with wobbles, right?
No, I'm not sure about that. I think like especially at Begode, just the way the suspension is constructed, it's just a bit more precise, and I think it's easier to get out of wobbles or like to be precise with those wheels than with the Lynx.
I see.
Okay. So I'm not
And,
really
like,
sure if it's a wobble issue, but it's a precision issue for sure.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is like with wheels being an S tier, it doesn't mean they're perfect. Like the Extreme is definitely not perfect. The E20 is not perfect. There is no perfect wheel. It's just relatively speaking in the market today, I think the Lynx does have a place in S tier because of its package that it provides. And that's coming from someone who doesn't like riding LeaperKim wheels.
Yeah, so here we have a couple comments regarding the wobbles. Pedal lowering kits are available for that wheel, and that should definitely help. A friend of mine here in Warsaw has it. I'm still to test it out, but he's very happy with it. And then, you know, Gabe says it's a skill issue. Definitely, like I can make wobbles on demand now, just in a way where I position myself, so it's not really like, you know, prone to wobbles, but it's a bit less of a precise wheel, and it definitely takes a lot more skill to make it, you know, put it where you want it on a track. Or
I would also say that my two biggest ergonomic complaints with the Lynx are the kickstand and the front handle. So if you have a Lynx, you can consider getting like a Grizzla package. That front handle from Grizzla looks really nice, and it gets rid of the stabby under the soft part of my knee problem.
Yes, that's true.
And then the kickstand, it is like the first day I got it, the first day I lent it to someone,
your shin
feels it.
Yeah,
so
it's so wide,
and it sticks out so much.
Yeah, it's an awful kickstand. I mean, it's
So-
very
so, yeah.
stable, but no.
It's not perfect, but it's pretty high up there.
Yeah, I also got the Nylon Ferry kit for it, and I don't have the rear kickstand, and the front handle is also better. So yeah, definitely an issue of that wheel, but it doesn't detract so much from like what it gives to a rider. Like it opened like so many riders here in Warsaw for like doing jumps and inclines and doing more off-road stuff. It definitely pushes the whole community of like performance riding forward a lot. So yeah, S tier.
What's the next one?
That's the ET Max cut in half.
Oh, ET Max.
Max. Oh.
Yeah.
I only had it for like a week because I personally didn't really, like, as much as I love Begode, I really did not really like that wheel too much. I would say personally, I would say like a B tier.
I cannot even really climb on it.
Yeah, it's 50 kilograms. It's very heavy.
Maybe a C tier. Maybe B. I don't know. Wrong way could be the tiebreaker on that one.
Yeah, actually, I'm riding this wheel a lot, and it's sort of in the same category for me as the V13, just in a bit of a different way, because it's heavy, but it doesn't have a lot of range.
Yeah.
It's very fast, but at the same time, it's very, heavy. So you can't really like race it. And then, you can charge it quickly, but it doesn't have much battery. So it's a very like niche wheel. Like if I would see like a perfect sort of use case for that wheel is sort of mid-range trips that are fast, or you need the absolute biggest comfort of the suspension. So I tried both springs on that wheel, the 900 and the 1300 pound spring, and I opted in for actually the lighter spring, maybe first time ever when I was testing wheels. And it's so comfortable, like the suspension travel, the way it absorbs bumps and everything. It's an amazingly comfortable wheel, and especially a great wheel for like I would say heavier riders that just want like comfort, like a big, heavy, chunky V11 sort of, but with good suspension.
Maybe B then.
But at the same time, it's like it's already useless because they will bring out the xWay.
Yeah.
Like, why would you have a ET Max if there's an xWay? Like,
yeah,
any reason. Worse bumpers because they will bend the CNC bumpers. The plastic in the front is a bit of annoying. It's 9 kilograms heavier than the xWay.
Yeah.
So I'm also torn apart on it. I really like riding on it. I love how comfortable it is, but I don't see myself ever like owning it for a longer time.
I think a strong C+.
Let's do a C+. C++.
Yeah.
Or Java.
C Pro, C Pro Plus.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah. Max. That's the name of the S22 in a year. All right.
Sherman L.
Sherman L. Did you guys ride that wheel?
I did. I like kind of similar to people who, when they first read the Blitz, is like the responsiveness of the Sherman L and how easy it is to accelerate, decelerate. Kind of,
it's amazing.
Took me by surprise.
Yeah.
You can't get away from the fact that it is still a big wheel. So like rotating it is still a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
The way they've designed the trolley handle is quite nice. It's quite sturdy.
Very sturdy. It's such a big grip on it too.
Yeah, and it's kind of a little bit rubberized too. It's not like straight up raw metal.
It erects itself very well.
Yeah, and it locks in place. So I think the Sherman L actually like is a really great wheel. Also,
yeah, I agree with that. Christine, did you?
I mean, you can't really go far since it's like a Lynx with more batteries.
Yeah, I think it does exactly what you're expecting it to be, and a little better, especially for the acceleration assist. So I don't know. I'd either put it into S or A tier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit early. I'd say like it just came out.
Yeah,
maybe like an A++.
Yeah,
it's kind of like similar to the Blitz. Like we need to wait for more time to see how it really does in the long term. But it's looking to be a really good wheel.
That's true. Christine, did you have a ride on it yet?
Nope.
No, I rode it in China when I went last time.
It probably was too heavy for you.
Probably.
Will be.
Okay, Master Pro V3/4.
I don't know. I rode the Master Pro V1. I don't know how the V3 behaves. I love the big tire on it, but it's a heavy chunker. It's a heavy chunker.
You took it to trails too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I rode the Master Pro as my daily wheel back when Wrongway came to Vancouver. I had it for like over a year. We rode it to Whistler and did a lot of things. It's a really niche wheel. Like it's a really one of a kind, and I don't think any other manufacturer could really justify making such a wheel because the market size is so small. And because of that, like I really did enjoy it thoroughly. Like the Master Pro V3 does have more torque than it used to, but then you run into the rim being too wide problems. And honestly, I don't see the point in the Master Pro V4 because then it's like a 2024 wheel with no smart BMS. Less battery than the Master Pro, which that's the reason why you buy it, because of the battery.
Yeah.
So like if I were to grade it as like a V3 product, I would say like it's probably not for everyone, but it's kind of like the only thing in its class. So I would almost give it like S tier status just because of that.
Oh wow, look at that. Christine, what you think about that?
It's not my wheel. I cannot comment on that.
It's too heavy. Yeah, I mean, I was riding this wheel a lot in Vancouver. And I was like enjoying it thoroughly, and like some things that it can do, like the distance is crazy.
Yeah,
and you know, there's, as you say, there's no other wheel that can do that.
Right.
And I was surprised that I can still do so much stuff with it. Like I could go upstairs on it, downstairs so easy. I don't know.
I did trails with it.
Yeah, trails with it too. Yeah, we went to Whistler and back too.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy good wheel. I mean, it's crazy that it exists really, and there's nothing really that comes close to it all that much. Well, now a little bit the Sherman L, but really it's totally different beast, like different tire size, everything's different. So I know it's a bit of a legendary wheel. Like I think I would. Yeah, I would S it too.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's eat a chip on that.
Okay. Go, Christine.
Power.
You only one? So weak.
Okay, I'll eat another one.
I'm eating like 6.
I thought we were on a diet.
Oh, people are commenting about the EX30. Let's not forget it. Like so many people talking about the EX30. It's not a new wheel. It's not 2024.
I like it.
There was no. Oh my god. It was no reissue of it.
I like the EX30. It's a really good street wheel.
It's just too old.
Yeah.
Maybe when Begode releases a new EX30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Commander Pro 50S.
I have no idea. So you guys talk on that.
I mean, the Commander Pro 50S is kind of like the EX30. A lot of racers.
Is it like a Sherman S sort of, but extreme bull?
Yeah, but it's 3,600 watt hour, 134 volt, 50S batteries, really good performance, field weakening, so good top speed. EX30 is definitely relevant. I'm not saying that it's not relevant. It's just that we had to draw a line as to where we did the cutoff, and the cutoff was the Extreme. And I believe the Commander Pro 50S came out after the Extreme.
Yeah.
It's a relatively
Commander
old
Mini
wheel.
is a small one. Commander Pro is the big one.
Too many Commander.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, which one is which?
Also, when they got to the Commander Pro 50S, like they already revised the suspension a couple times. And so I think it's still a really decent performance wheel, and you can find it at a really good budget because they can be found quite affordable.
Yeah, the price is pretty good.
I would say it's probably like a solid,
Like a B, I don't know.
I would say B.
yeah, like a B plus.
Okay, B plus. I can just agree with you on that. I never wrote it.
You put in the wrong category.
B.
B plus.
Whoops. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I never wrote it. I like probably it's Begode firmware, and I feel like the materials that they use are pretty well thought out. So
Yeah, I mean the other thing too is like the suspension quality is actually quite surprising for someone who maybe hasn't considered Extreme Bull. If you do have an opportunity to give it a try, the suspension quality is really surprising.
we have a Commander Mini, just one. Oh yeah, Miko Waizaman. He is in the chat. He has a Commander Mini, and he's like super happy with.
Commander Mini is honestly like an underappreciated wheel. It's definitely an underdog.
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Yeah. So yeah, he's pretty happy with it. Like probably today, like you were talking, he would choose maybe a different wheel, like a Blitz or something. But you know, the price was also great for his wheel.
The Commander Mini is a really good small package. Like it's a really dense package for.
Christine, you like it a lot, right?
I don't remember this wheel. What is this?
What, the Commander Mini?
That's the one that gave her the concussion.
Ah. Oh, so probably you do not like it.
So she took a large jump on it and she missed the whole tabletop and landed on the ground.
Oh my goodness!
But it's also because you were using it for not its intended purpose. Like the Commander Mini is not intended for off-roading.
Dude, we have a J Burn super chat. Eat a chip. Sherman L belongs to Eska. You know what? Jay Burns for $50. I'll eat 5 chips.
We'll eat chips, and I can say sure. Like I can agree with that.
Whoa. Oh my god. We don't know yet. We don't know if it will be good in the long run.
The Blitz and the
It's
Sherman L.
heavy. It's heavy too. Oh my freaking god. That was too many chips. Oh, and Planet Iceland gifted 1 membership. Okay, another one for the membership.
Next, GT Pro.
By the way, thank you so much for that $50 donation. It's like a lot of money, so I appreciate that a lot. Even though you're wrong, but I appreciate it.
Wait, do you have GT Pro and GT Pro Plus separately, or are they together in one?
I don't know. You just told me about the wheels, and I tried to find pictures of it. I might be wrong. I don't know.
What's the one that's the third from the right?
That's the 168 volt one, I think.
No, the third from the right.
Well, here?
Yeah, that one.
That's the new one that's coming up.
The GT Pro Plus.
Yeah.
The GT Pro Plus.
Okay. So that's the GT Pro, and the other one's GT Pro Plus. Okay, for the record. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
not easy.
No, it's very different. It's very different. So the GT Pro, to me, is very low on this list.
Okay.
But the GT Pro Plus is decent on this list.
the GT Pro Plus the giant one?
Because the GT Pro is too heavy.
Wait.
for the
GT
batteries.
Pro, isn't this like the cardboard box on wheels with added side pads and stuff?
Yeah. But I mean, they're both the same. So they're both the same wheel. They just have different battery capacities. So they both look the same from the external appearance.
Okay.
I see.
So for the GT Pro, there are some people that like it for racing. Okay, I'll give that to them. But for the physical size of the wheel and how heavy it is for 3,000 watt hours, to me, it's lame. But when they fill up the battery packs and make it 4,400 watt hours with a 20-inch wheel with 50 S cells, capable of 20 amp charging,
Yeah.
and then you can do bypass charging up to 30 amps. That's a different story, because now that has a niche wheel for long distance riders.
Exactly.
Okay, so where do we put the Pro? Yeah, Commander GT Pro.
I think a strong C.
Okay, just where the ET Max lives.
Yeah, it's not as good as it's not as bad as the basketball.
It's not as bad as the basketball.
I might as well let's do the Pro.
The Pro Plus, I think, would be like
A tier. But wait, is this what is that wheel?
I don't know.
Wait. I need to. It's a Commander or Extreme Bull. Wait, I have it in the list here. Let me check.
Oh, is it the Commander Max?
Oh yeah, probably that.
Other one?
But then do you have? Oh yeah, it's Commander Max. Commander Max. That's right.
What's the Commander Max again?
No, wait.
Max.
No, wait. Maybe it's the GT Pro Plus. Okay, so the Commander Max should be somewhere else.
Yeah.
I made a mistake there. Sorry, because they're all the same. I mean, they're not. I mean, sorry. So we talk about that one later.
Yeah. So we go to the GT Pro Plus first. GT Pro Plus.
Wait, but wasn't this the GT Pro Plus?
No, that's the GT Pro.
So I need to have another picture of the GT Pro.
You do, it's right there. The fourth one. The one in the very middle. That one.
It makes sense. Okay. So this is
really
A tier.
You might want
Or
to
B tier.
S. I thought you were gonna put it up higher.
I don't
Based
know.
on how fast you can.
Maybe A.
Maybe A. Okay, and then I'll either.
I mean, you can only
put it in
charge
B.
fast. You can only charge fast because of bypassing. Technically, that's not stock.
I'll put it into B. I ate a chip.
Why don't they compare it then?
I don't think like I mean maybe people will be able to do something amazing with it, but I don't really. No.
It's just the refinement of that product isn't 100%.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I'll put it this way: if the GT Pro Plus lived in A tier, then the Sherman L should live in S tier. But I don't believe the Sherman L and the GT Pro Plus should be in the same tier.
I believe so too. That's very true.
Okay.
But I don't think it's fair to have the GT Pro Plus in B tier either.
Yeah.
So maybe we should push both of those up, and I should eat some chips here.
Wait, which one should we push up?
GT Pro Plus to A tier and Sherman L to S tier.
How many chips are you eating?
How many do you want me to eat?
If you put pushing
I want to put them back down again. So you tell me.
I'm gonna eat 10 chips.
No way. Okay, so I eat 10
Hey,
chips and
that's
I
an
put them back
excuse.
down. 1, 2,
Can I have a close up?
3, 4, 5. Oh my god.
And I think the Blitz
Oh my
should go
god.
up too.
I don't know. Maybe I won't make it. 6. Oh, 7. 8. Okay, I got
Oh my god.
9 and one more. Oh my god.
Oh.
10.
I think the
Okay,
Blitz-
so
Blitz should
so they
go
stay
up.
here. But if you eat any more, I will
Okay,
resign.
we'll leave it. We'll leave it. I'm done.
Okay.
I tried.
They stay?
Yeah, we'll leave it. Oh,
Mistakes were made.
I tried so hard.
But got so far.
I'm
In
eating
the end.
This is more
Dyna
sour.
Dynamito chips.
It's very sour and
Oh,
the late spice.
Yeah, it's just like sour first and then spicy at the end. Oh,
Okay, you're good.
that was a lot of chips. Oh,
all right.
okay.
Wait, I think I need to remove that and just have a close up of us.
Oh. I think it's getting a bit hot. Let me take off my jacket.
It's burning in my lips. Ah, okay. So whenever you're ready, Albert.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
What about the Samsonite EUC?
The E25.
Exactly.
Okay, so before we get into
Laser
these,
wheel.
before we get into these wheels,
Yeah.
we need to preface
Disclaimer.
this.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
This is all speculation
Yeah.
and based off our excitement for these wheels and the niches that they fill. Because we don't know anything about the issues that may come up.
Yeah.
This is a lot based on. Sorry, I need to like swallow a lot.
That's what she said.
Based on a lot
Sorry.
of like hopium.
Slipped out.
Okay, this is very like optimistic. Okay.
Yeah.
And until we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and then if they end up having lots of problems, then they'll slowly drop down in the tiers. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is super optimistic.
Yeah.
E25.
Oh,
So the reason why I'm excited for the E25.
Good.
should I
Yeah.
start? I could start.
Sure, you can start.
I'm excited for the E25 too because it should be very light and we have a light suspension wheel then. Oh my god, it's actually getting warm. That's true. It should have good lighting front and back. I think it should have GPS tracking too, which is awesome. And I'm just in general very happy to see some sort of. I believe it will be a better price too. And like compared to other wheels in that sort of category. And I guess a lot of sort of riders that are starting out, they might gravitate towards this sort of wheel rather than like not choosing anything. So yeah, I would probably put it into like either S or A tier, honestly. Even
So
though it
to
looks
add-
like a luggage.
Yeah, to add to what you said, so the color doesn't
Yeah.
do it much justice because that green color is absolutely hideous.
Yeah.
And it gives you kind of like the army gas tank kind of feel.
It does.
But I will
see
say in like a dark gray color, it actually looks really sleek. On top of that, there is like the angled part of that,
that. Yeah.
the line, that is actually like an RGB LED light.
That's
So
sick.
once that turned on, it's really slick.
Mm,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thirdly, it has a really good headlight because it shares a headlight with the V14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has the same display as a V14.
Oh, nice.
It has a trolley handle similar to like the V12.
Oh, sweet.
It is 16 inches in diameter,
Mm,
and therefore it's a really good, like a really good city commuter kind of short distance wheel.
right.
And it is supposed to be lighter than the Falcon by like 10-15%.
Wow.
Is
Wow,
it
that's
bigger?
actually amazing.
Physically, yeah, it's bigger. Physically, it's bigger because the Falcon has a 15-inch tire,
Yeah.
and the E25 has a 16-inch. But it does have like the built-in kickstand. It has good tail lights. It has turn signals.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has like it's a really good package, and it's supposed to be like 20% cheaper than a Falcon.
Have you seen one in person?
That's honestly S tier.
Yeah, written one.
I have ridden one. And
Look at that.
I rode it around the office. Yeah, it is a really like it's not like super torquey, so it's not in the same performance category as a Falcon.
Right.
But it is like I would say like a really good update to like a V10.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
What is that gas tank again? It's the E25.
Right?
E25, yeah.
Which stand for the amount of liters you can fill it up to. But yeah, that's super exciting actually.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a really exciting wheel. Like I'm really excited for that wheel.
I would put an S tier, honestly.
100%.
Christine, what do you rate the Samsonite bag / gas tank?
Yep, I'm excited for it.
I think that the E25 is like it's a better summation of its parts than what it leads up to be.
Right. Yeah. I think it could
It's also
bring
like
a lot
really
of new
well
riders
balanced,
in too.
and it can fast charge too at like 10 amps.
Oh wow, that's sweet.
Small, huh?
Yeah, and it has USB ports.
And
USB-C power delivery.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, next wheel. What was that, the xWay?
xWay. Yeah. I'm super excited about this one. I'm just like flabbergasted how, you know, Begode is just coming up with so many wheels that you sort of make the purpose of their other wheels sort of a bit pointless. But
yeah, I mean, like the xWay kind of replaces the ET Max in a way.
And the Blitz too, with the smaller battery version.
But if you ride it, it doesn't have the same responsiveness that the Blitz has.
Because the C38.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is that the 168 volt version, I think it free spins similar to the 134 volt Blitz. And then the Blitz 134 volt is still like 1 or 2 kilos lighter than the xWay.
Yeah, that's one.
But depending on your purpose,
yeah.
Like if you want something like fun to ride, city commute, response, race kind of wheel, I think the Blitz is still where it's at. If you want something that's like just raw torque in like climbing a rock garden or something, the xWay will kind of be maybe better for that.
And also, it fills the niche of the ET Max a lot better. So for riders, will just have a different option than just buy a Lynx. So this will have just slightly more battery and still a pretty similar weight at like 41 kilograms for the 3,000 watt-hour version. So
yeah, but I mean, like with the other wheels that are coming out for trail riding, I'm not honestly that excited about the xWay. Like I don't think it really it doesn't really bring that much to the equation. Like there's not really much innovation.
I do like the adjustable suspension travel thing.
But is it just it's okay, it's still to be proven, but from what I understand,
I don't know how clunky it will be though. Yeah.
The adjustable part of it, there's a couple of issues. One is it looks like it's more of a soft to hard rather than like a 100 to 130.
Right. It's the thing that they have currently with the different bolts, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, like, to me, that's just like the same as the Blitz, right? It's just that you don't have to swap pins. But on that same token is like, how do you make sure that both the left and the right side of the pin are exactly in the same spot if it's infinitely adjustable?
Here we have a point from... yeah, continue.
No, sorry.
Here we have a point from Mateusz. He says that the ergonomics of the Blitz are worse than on the xWay. Handle and I guess the size is also like
it's mainly just the handle, that front handle.
Okay.
The front handle on the Blitz is not ideal for like.
And the display is better also on the xWay.
The display is the same as the ET Max display.
Exactly. So that's better than on the Blitz, but I don't really mind that all that much. I actually personally I really like the front handle on the Blitz. I don't have any issues with it.
Yeah, it just depends on the person.
I just don't look at it.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I will say that like the Blitz in terms of the lightweight and the response kind of brings a little bit more innovation to the table. The xWay is just kind of more of everything. Just
more
for the
bigger.
sake of more. Yeah, it's just there's nothing really exciting about it to me. It's just more.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for example, like we're gonna talk about the Naset later, but I mean like the Naset at least brings something new to the table, you know?
Yeah,
like
more
there's innovation.
Travel. Yeah. And
the adjustability of the suspension travel, the progressive linkage. Like they released their spec sheet today, and
Yeah.
it's
Yep,
like
I saw it
to
too.
me way more interesting to me than the xWay.
That's
Yeah, I
true.
forgot about
That's
the
that.
X-ray
That's
already.
very correct. Yeah, from all what you say, like I think it's B tier there for like a good B plus or something.
I think a B tier is like where I'd put it.
I agree.
Like I'm actually not that excited about it,
I'm
especially in
also excited,
2024.
Mm.
Going into 2025, like I think 2025 is going to be really exciting because the people who really focus on response and lightweight and other safety features, I think will start to really pull ahead.
Yeah. So wait, I didn't share the screen here. Boom. Here's the xWay. Yeah. I guess that's that regarding the xWay. Really, there is some innovation,
Griffin.
but not really a lot.
Yeah, not enough innovation in my books to make it justify a wheel.
Yeah, and here another question regarding the Blitz or xWay. But would you buy a Blitz over an xWay? I
think
didn't
it
write
depends on your
the
intended purpose.
Yeah.
yeah, and we didn't. I didn't write the xWay yet, so I can't like say much about it. But I do love the Blitz, and I don't know if I could like live with having more weight on my wheel, because the lighter the wheel, the better it is for me for off-roading and doing stupid things. So I don't know. I will get one anyway. I'll get the 3000 watt-hour version, but I don't know. We'll see. What do you think about that, Albert?
Would I get a Blitz over an xWay?
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, like, okay, so I'll break it down. I want like rather than just saying yes or no, like I think it takes a little bit more thought process. Like for example, and I think of this very holistically because like I'm a very different rider than Christine is, and Christine doesn't really care too much about the wheel that she rides as long as it's good.
And light.
So like I have to go plan wheels for Christine, and she doesn't know what she likes. So like my plan for Christine right now is I'm building her an off-road Blitz because she may not need all the torque that the xWay can provide because she's a lighter rider, so she can't access that torque anyways. So for her, the responsiveness and the lightweight is a much bigger criteria. Now for someone like me where lightweight may not be as big of a criteria because I'm such a big guy to begin with, like I wouldn't mind a 168 volt xWay. So like the question gets asked is like, where does this 134 volt xWay really live? Like what is its intended purpose? Like is it the lightweight, the semi-lightweight rider who just wants a really light wheel?
Or like a C38 that just desperately wants the C38 motor.
Yeah, I mean, but
Just
I mean
a
for
different
a light
screen,
person,
yeah.
the C32 is enough for you. So
Yeah,
like
even for me, it's enough. Yeah.
yeah, so like why would you
Not
need
super
more?
light. That's
Yeah.
true.
Insomniac asked a question about like how much markup is there for Begode to blow wheels out left and right? I don't think it's so much markup. I think it's more so just because their company is more like mom and pop shop that they don't need to make big R&D budgets or big marketing budgets like InMotion needs to have or Kingsong. So it's just a very different way in the way the company is run.
Yep. And it's some form of advertisement for them too, because we just keep talking about new wheels, and if there's no wheels to talk about, like it's no marketing. So in a way, it's also how they sell products, just making a lot of new ones.
Yeah. Matthias Wolashukut, which is
Vohovic.
sorry, I murdered that one.
Almost.
Does the firmware on the Blitz is only for the Blitz, or the ideas would be shared with other EUCs? I mean, it really depends on what you're being specific about, because like if you're talking about like ride feel, there's the firmware does make a difference, but also the hardware is a big component. Like
the motor, the C32.
Yeah, so it's not just like, oh, you can make any wheel torquey or you can make any wheel responsive, right? It has to be designed holistically.
Yeah.
There's a question for you by Big O Rider, wrong way.
Wait, here, two things. All right, let's reach for it. I thought you didn't like no BMS, yet you rate PV3S. Yeah, I don't like it, but when you have this battery distribution board, you will still get notified if something's wrong with the batteries. If you have a dead cell, like my biggest sort of issue was back in the day, if you used to have like an MSB or something, then you might actually not find out if there's a dead cell in the wheel unless you notice how much you're charging it, or if the voltage of the battery when it like goes to full charge goes down, or like you can't charge it to 100%. And that is not the case with all of these wheels that we have here on this list. So that's why we have it here, because of the battery distribution board and the cold charge ports. And while it is better to have a smart BMS, the reason why, for example, the Master Pro is so high and the S16 is so low is that the BMSs actually work here compared to, you know, the buggy sort of firmware that is oftentimes on both S19, S16. So that's one question answered, hopefully.
I mean, keep in mind also, it's not like, again, the tier rating is relative to the wheel's intended purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
It's that's not only about safety, it's like the whole picture of it, sort of.
Yeah.
The second question, Apex, if LeaperKim has longer warranty and some parts, will they have Begode LeaperKim?
I mean, this is still all speculation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Apex yet. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome for
okay.
the answer.
So next one, Griffin.
Yep. Can you like refresh in my mind about that?
So the Griffin is a 151 volt, 2700 watt hour
Yeah.
wheel with the Extreme Bull type suspension, with a C38. Actually, you can purchase it with different motor types because Extreme Bull wants to satisfy everyone. So whether you want C40 motor, C38 motor, C38 tile, whatever floats your boat,
Oh, cool.
you can get it. My only thing is that the battery boxes are really like tall and narrow, and so they go really close to the ground. And for me personally, again, like for me, when I see a new wheel or someone comes out with a new wheel, I want to see innovation. I want to see something new. I don't want to see like repackaged goods, so to speak, right? And
Yeah, exactly.
that's why like that's why we talked about like the other wheels. Like if there's nothing new, it doesn't really do much to the market. Then it's like, what for? So like we don't need more wheels. We just need more well thought out wheels. To me, the Griffin kind of falls into the more wheels category.
Yeah, it's just like a answer sort of to the Lynx, like when you just look at the specs.
Yeah,
So
and then when you ride it and when you whatever, it's like, is it a great wheel? Sure. Is it a different wheel in any regard? No, not really. So it just doesn't really excite me that much.
Yeah, I think we would just B tier it.
I mean, I'd probably put in D personally.
See?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that, but I'll eat a chip.
Is the next one Commander Max?
I believe so.
Okay. So, unpopular opinion, I will say that the Commander Max, I kind of want to see it in person, but I feel like
this one was very spicy. Oh my god. Yeah.
If the Commander Max can do what the Commander Mini did to the Patton, which is like make a really decent product but shrink its form factor and physical size, I'm actually excited about the Commander Max, because if it ends up being a smaller footprint than the Sherman L, to me that's exciting.
Right. And we'll have what kind of battery? Like 4,000?
Same, 4,000 watt hour.
4,000, okay.
151 volt, 4,000 watt hour. Same as the Sherman L.
Okay. Christine,
so to me, that's my criteria. Is like if it can be smaller than the Sherman L by a decent metric and be like a really compact package, I think I would consider getting one.
Christine, any thoughts about this one?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if it's smaller... yeah, I'm listening.
Where is the Sherman L right now?
Sherman L's A tier.
Unless we fight again with chips. Yeah,
it's very ironic for me, who doesn't ride LeaperKim, to be pushing LeaperKim's wheels up a tier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Like for me, I don't have much info on this wheel, but to me, it looks. I know it's cool that it's lighter for sure, and it's nice to have like a bit of variety. I don't think it like does anything wrong. It has like a nice sort of flat surface area for the pads. I guess the lights will be fine, suspension will be fine, and I don't know. I feel like I would honestly. What, you would probably A tier it, or you would B tier?
I'd probably B tier.
But you're more excited.
I am excited for it, but I don't think. I mean,
it will perform so well.
You know what? I have an idea. Let's maybe I put the Sherman L to S tier, and then we
Yeah.
put the
Sure.
yeah,
do that.
okay, and let's eat like 3 chips.
Okay.
Boom. Now
Yeah,
the
yeah, well.
viewers are happy too about the Sherman L. Oh my god. Oh, it's getting worse and worse. Oh, that was a bad idea. Okay, Kingsong F22 Pro. Wow, what an exciting new release. Wow, I'm so excited for that wheel. Aren't you, Albert?
Very.
That was a very deep, very. The single spike pedals.
Christine almost choked
Oh no!
when he said spike pedals. You okay, Christine?
Crete. Think about the Crete.
I don't know. What are you thinking, Wrongway?
About the F22. I'm actually genuinely interested. Because Kingsong doesn't release wheels really often, and there's some things about it that are pretty interesting, like the suspension. Even though it might be it's air suspension, it might be leaking or whatever. It has some parts that are like less interesting. The handle, which reminds me a lot about the Lynx or like other wheels that we have. But it will be 176 volt, like a lot of volts.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious. Like the nominal power of the motor is super high, but as usual with Kingsongs, they didn't seem like super powerful.
Okay. Just wait. The nominal power of a motor, though. So
Yeah.
Kingsong's the best at this, is because the S18 had a 2200 watt motor.
Yeah.
And the S22 had a 3300 watt motor.
Oh yeah, that motor was not powerful at all.
And the average Joe is going to be like, well, the S22 has a 50% more powerful motor.
Yeah.
But in reality, what it is just the reason why they can rate it from 22 to 33 is because the voltage went up from 84 volts to 126.
Oh, there it is. But it's the same motor.
But it's the same motor. So you go from 126 to 176. Now you're at 5500. You're like, okay, it could be the same S22 motor or like something similar to that category.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I feel like this wheel is. In one side, I'm very interested about it, but I feel like it's already dead before it launched.
It's like a solid average B.
I know. I feel like I would even see it.
Yeah, I would.
I feel like Seed kind of does it disservice though, because it's like it hasn't come out yet. So maybe it's like the underdog, where we feel like it's gonna be so shit, and our expectations are so low, and then their god tier firmware can bring it up a level.
You know what? Maybe that's their marketing strategy, just to make it like not appeal at all. So the bar is set so low, people can be just like positively surprised. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm convinced. I can eat a B. I mean, I can. Okay, I can eat a chip, but I can't be it. Christine.
Okay.
Christine, do you accept it with the single spike pedal? Oops.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, it's probably a wheel that Christine will never ride anyways. So
actually, it will be
I saw the
46
What is that?
kilograms.
F22
yeah,
before the Pro.
yeah,
I saw it in China, right?
yeah.
And I didn't like it already.
I mean, at the time it was still blue, so it kind of looks weird.
Yeah, I didn't like it already.
It was, if you go back to our vlog, oh no, we deleted that part. It was part of the censored part.
No, we put a
little sensor on it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, surprises Kingsong in a positive way.
Yeah, I mean, like Planet Iceland mentioned the 4,000 watt motor, but the 4,000 watt motor also ended up like sucking more battery out of it too. So you got less range on S22, which already got little range to begin with.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, we have one wheel left. We have the NOSFET. So I guess
Everyone's
we
waiting for the last one, the NOSFET.
Yeah. Should we watch the? Should we check out their site or something?
Yeah, let's. I think
do
we should check out the two things. One is their
Nice.
spec sheet. We can go through that spec sheet they just
They
released
just
today,
uploaded today, right?
and we can
Yeah.
go through that suspension adjustment video that they did.
Yeah. Let me just really quickly share the screen. I just need to find the right picture so we don't get Pornhub. Okay, perfect. Naset Apex. It's an incognito tab, so I need to just accept everything or not accept.
Just check on yeah.
Here,
YouTube,
I got it.
right?
I got it.
Is a spec sheet on there?
It's here. Yeah, I think it's an Apex. Boom. Oh, that one chip just got deeper into my throat. Okay, that sounded okay. Never mind. Specifications right there.
Oh, let's just roll from the top to the bottom. Let's go through all the graphics and see what they talk about.
So if you didn't know, like this is a new company, Naset, and they are producing a new wheel, which is it's like mildly based on LeaperKim firmware or like hardware in terms of
Something
like
like
the
that, yeah.
motor or controller. So here we can see all-in-one progressive linkage, suspension, tool-free adjustment of 7 total suspension positions.
So like this concept of changing the ride height by adjusting these gears is actually really cool. Like to me, I'm really excited for this innovation. Like for example, there's going to be a lot of questions about reliability, of course, or like alignment or stuff like that. Like how it works out in the real life through people like Gabe throwing their wheels down a mountain. Has to be proven in the future, of course.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But on paper, this concept, this novel idea that they came out with is pretty cool. And like I have to give them a lot of props for this idea.
Yeah,
Secondly, they have a progressive linkage, not linear like the ones we all have now, which means it'll be harder to bottom out and it'll give you more compliance up top.
Yeah, it will be much more comfortable for the small bumps. And like
exactly. So that's also really good too.
Yeah.
So this I'm actually really excited for. We can continue. I just had to mention that.
All right. So here, full 95 millimeters of suspension adjustment. So here you can see how much suspension travel you can get according to different setups. So the more sort of high speed you want to go, which does make sense if you like look at the real world. If you look at motorcycles, if you look at bikes, whatever, the faster you want to go, especially around the track, you get less suspension travel and a stiffer suspension. So it's very cool that you can adjust that, and then you have a different pedal height too, and even at the
pedal height kind of just moves with the suspension travel, like they're 1-to-1.
Yeah, but it's still cool that with the lowest amount of suspension travel, you have still a very reasonable pedal height, like 22 centimeters is fine. Like the wheels we have are like what 24 usually, 23.
I've never measured them, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, something around that. And then minus 5 centimeters, you're at what 16 centimeters of pedal height, and that's still higher than my Blitz when it bottoms out. So that's really good because you don't only want to have like a pedals high, but also make sure that they don't get too low once the suspension compresses a lot. So yeah, super cool.
I mean, the other thing that's just as I mentioned is like, how the version 1 Extreme had the issues with the pillars breaking? Because as these suspensions go higher and higher, they're going above that motor axle point.
Yeah.
So that's something also for us to look into on this NOSFET is like the longevity of that motor bracket and how they design it, whether or not it'll hold up to the extreme abuse that it's advertised for.
Right. Because we can see that this is the thing that moves around, right?
Yeah, but there's an interface that bolts onto the motor bolt, right?
Okay, so that's a question. That's a fair question you have.
So we can actually watch that video right now. It's a suspension adjustment video.
Okay, let's check it out. Sure.
Yeah.
Welcome
to.
So like, cheers, Jack.
Like the wheel looks really good. I don't know why its calibration looks like it's tilted backwards.
Yeah.
But the wheel looks really good. The other thing too is like on high speeds, it might be wobble tendons because like it's so narrow.
I know, like narrow wheels are pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean the look, the fit and finish in this video of the wheel looks really good. Really
so
solid.
shiny. Yeah. That's really easy to adjust too.
The only worry is like if you lose that screw or the screw pops out or something.
Oh wow!
And then the way
that's
he's moving that
crazy.
slider, it's like super smooth.
Super smooth. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then like in this position, he was struggling a little bit to like hold the two lever thingies while lifting up and down the wheel.
Mm.
Like that. See, he's having a little bit of trouble, but I mean, overall, it's still a really cool design.
A lot.
I wonder what
pedal
material they're making those gears out of.
Mm.
Because I feel like there'd be some force on those gears.
Somewhat.
Some force.
Some force. Oh yeah, a lot of force on those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very sweet though. Mudguard looks very fat too, which is great.
Also, the mudguard has two pieces, so like if you like hit the mudguard or something, it won't crack because there's like a relief area for it to like bend upwards.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
So there's a lot of really good touches in this NOSFET that are super exciting. I think they've really thought of different things to innovate for the trail rider.
Oh, and if you can do that with your hands, that's already good. That you can like move around.
The small
Like
bump
it's
absorption, like moving
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, this wheel's definitely very exciting. Like, and it's like if the headlight has a really good cutoff beam, based on its pictures, it looks really good. I wish they maybe put more lights for like floodlight so that you could see like to your sides when you're in the forest.
I wish that you would have finally an EUC that has both. You have like a cutoff beam for the city and a floodlight for going out.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just just two LEDs. You don't need like a lot of systems. Just for a city, I don't really even need much power either. Like sometimes I prefer to have a weak light even without the cutoff beam and just point it down instead of having like this super powerful with a cutoff beam. But then I take a turn and I blind someone, or I go up down a hill, and then I have to adjust it because it just the sheer power of it is blinding people when I go downhill. So yeah, auto brightness too, according to the speed.
I mean, that's probably like honestly, that's probably like similar to Begode, where it's like dim and then you move and it brightens up. Like I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that, if that makes sense.
3 different brightnesses.
But then it's manually, not automatic.
But maybe the auto brightness is also 3 levels. I don't
know.
Okay, DNM shock, either air or coil.
So it is interesting though. This is like the first wheel where you're able to use 2 different shock sizes in the same wheel.
Oh, true.
Because one is a 205 mil and one's a 220 mil.
Right.
So if it can actually accept like multiple shock sizes, that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, and then you can buy something aftermarket.
More variability as to what you want to do with it.
Yeah. Then you can buy really various shocks for it.
Exactly.
Okay, here we have.
Yeah, I mean, like the speed, battery, whatever. The speed and battery is basically, I think, going to be similar to like a Lynx, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting anything out of the ordinary there. The weight
lighter.
at 38 kilos is decent. It's
Yeah,
actually
lighter than
similar
Lynx.
to the xWay.
It is actually it's the lightest wheel with a 2700 watt-hour battery, because the xWay is 41 kilos with a 3000.
Oh, okay. And how much is the 134 volt one?
It's 38 and a half, I think.
Oh, so it's very similar to this. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is super lightweight, but the thing is that it doesn't have fairing plates, which you need to add.
Oh, yeah. Fairing plates and pads. That's true.
Yeah.
Pro grade stanchion.
Oh, you can kind of see the motor interface bolt there at the very bottom of that picture. Right there, yeah. Like
this?
Yeah, so like it depends on how strong that piece is. Because that's where the Extreme kind of broke off.
Yeah, and it's like a bit thinner here, definitely. That's where the Extreme broke for me.
Yeah, in terms of the slider, it looks like it's very similar to like kind of like a Begode plus a LeaperKim. It has like the oil seal, maybe like InMotion, because it has the rubber oil seal, and then they use that brass bushing on the stanchions.
Right, could work well. Well, we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. 95 millimeter tire with clearance is good.
Very wide tire can get in.
Yeah,
which is nice. IPX6, smart BMS, nice. I wonder how the app will look like.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so the impact-proof kickstand. So like the kickstand can be folded up or down, similar to like the V. I mean, kind of like
look
a V11.
At that. That's super cool.
I
would love that for off-roading. That's amazing. I didn't know that it had that feature.
Yeah. And then the second thing is the mudguard too. It has a fracture plane, so like it can break away if it hits something instead of breaking the mudguard.
Oh, sweet. Does it have holes though? What? I hope it's not holes.
I think that's just design. I don't think that's an actual hole.
Okay, because I don't understand. Like lots of EUC manufacturers put holes in their mudguards. I'm like, why?
Yeah, at least their pedals are spiked with more than one.
Look at that though, more than one spike.
I don't know if I like those lines on the pedal though. I feel like the lines would detract from the grip.
Yeah, and I don't like this. Like this looks like it could like be uncomfortable to touch, or like it can't put pedals maybe low. We'll
I mean, if you're gonna put a fairing plate on it, it might just gap you out that mount anyways, right?
But yeah, very long studs here for what it is.
But I wish they used like the mountain biking studs, like what Begode
absolutely
instead of these cast studs.
So recently I heard that it's a patent issue. Is that
true?
Yeah, studs that you can like sell a wheel with studded.
I don't think so because does Kingsong have studs?
No, they never did.
Oh really? So
they never
you mean
did.
Begode only Begode and InMotion have studs in their pedals?
No, InMotion doesn't have the MTB studs.
Oh, so it's only Begode, you mean?
It's only Begode.
I didn't know that there's a patent on that.
Yeah, I mean that's what I read in the comments recently. I would have to dig that up, but I mean it would make sense because only Begode has that really for so many years.
I mean, I will say that InMotion might have it soon.
Ooh, exciting.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay, finally, that's awesome then. Specifications.
Safe speed, 19 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll just go 19 kilometers an hour with it. I'll make the whole review with it at 19 kilometers an hour. Yeah. Rest of it looks similar to the like just the internals look similar to the Lynx with the max 15 amps too.
Magnesium, blah blah blah.
Yeah, temperature, weight, like we don't see much new stuff here compared to what we saw before.
But yeah, no, I think like the main innovations here is like
suspension,
and then like the movable kickstands and whatnot. Like to me, that was some good thought process.
Yeah,
I mean the grab handles, being able to grab from the top or the bottom is also really cool because most of the time people like to grab wheels below the headlight.
Yeah. Lifting.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, the one kickstand will be bad is like a lot. Like when I lift my Blitz, I like to lift my other hand on the kickstand, but if the kickstand moves, and you kind of lose that point.
I guess it could move up and then it will stay there maybe.
Yeah, but if it moves up and stays there, it'd be really close to that lower handle point. So that's like there's no point.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's nice that it has the sort of shock. Shock absorption thing.
I mean, the one big thing that time will tell, but it doesn't have a trolley handle. It seems.
I didn't know.
But it's a very tall wheel, though.
It is a very tall wheel, but it'll be very interesting to see what the market votes with their dollars.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, another thing too is like there's not really much place for a seat. Because the suspension comes up through that area.
Right, you don't want the suspension in your bum hole.
Yeah, unless you like the massage.
I might like the massage.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe there'll be like a elongated version for the suspension, so you could have some extra penetration for the suspension.
Yeah, so I mean, like those two are very like features that most people don't, I guess, think about. But
we also don't see the screen on any of.
There was one. If you look at the intro video, the screen was there. It's very LeaperKim style.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, it has different graphics on it, but like it has like the 4 buttons and the screen in the middle.
Okay, and that will be fine. Like I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like this is going to be a dedicated trail wheel of sorts.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is like, will the market accept a dedicated trail wheel? Because as of right now, like even if they make race wheels, I say like the Blitz, there's still a very big consideration for like how it looks and ergonomics and trolley and all this kind of things that normal people care about because the racing market is not big enough for it to justify it.
So let me go back to the tier list then. StreamYard.
Oh shit! EUC chasing pavements just made a good point. It means I can't ride that wheel because the max weight is 120 kilos.
Unfortunate.
You're gonna lose. Wait to 120.
Just to ride the wheel? Nah.
Okay, so what would we rate that? Honestly, I'm pretty
I'm
excited
really
about
excited
this.
for it. I would
Me
say
too.
like
S or A?
what do you think, Christine?
I should put it.
I think S. I would say S.
I would also say S.
Because of the innovations that it has, I'm really excited to see how they pan out.
Yeah, same here. Especially also this amount of suspension travel.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I think
Or
S.
S. A lot of people agree with S too.
Yeah. Okay, let's eat the chip on that. This one. All right. So we are through with the list. Take a look at that, guys. We actually distributed it very evenly and left the worst tier for Kingsong.
It's the Kingsong tier.
No, actually, the highest rated Kingsong is S22. Where is it?
It's C
Right
tier.
here. Oh my god, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Kingsong has been on a real roll lately.
Yeah, that's true. And so in a D tier we have the Kingsong Ball, which makes no sense, and we have the Kingsong S19, which had a lot of issues and has a bad pad setup. In the C tier we have the Begode Mini, which we couldn't really find a good use for it. It's just small and uncomfortable, but it's interesting for it being small. S16 issues with the BMS and issues with the bolts and other stuff. S22 was here before in the B, but I put it down because of the BMS failure issues. But we don't know how it is with that's the S22 Pro Plus. So yeah, that's the. Oh, actually no, the F22 is the highest scored Kingsong.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Here we have the ET Max, which is a pretty nice all-around wheel. You know what? Should I put it up for a chip?
Maybe it's being too mean to the ET Max.
Yeah, I'll put it up for a chip. So
It's also a really pretty wheel. It's really well designed.
Oh, it looks so freaking good. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, every time I take it out, like people are asking questions. Ah, that hurt though. What commander is that, Albert?
GT Pro.
You want to leave it here?
Yes.
Okay. Why was that?
It's because it looks too bulky for what it is, and it only has 3,000 watt hours.
Okay. And then we have the Griffin, which we don't know what it will be, but it doesn't bring anything new to the table.
Yeah.
Then we have the M10 which is a solid sort of starter wheel, but it has its batch of issues. Yeah, it's just, I guess, okay.
Just decidedly average.
Decidedly average. We have the V11Y, which, a lot of people like the V11, but, difficult to change a tire. But, good features, great ride. Like, it could be better with different suspension, but I think it deserves a good B, even B plus spot here. V12, similar story, just without suspension. And I put it down here. I think was it A tier before or no?
No, it was I think C tier before.
Okay, why did we put it up?
Because we felt that putting it in the same category as like the S16 was doing it a disservice.
Yeah, you're right. so yeah, that's correct. What commander is this, Albert?
Extreme Bull Commander
Extreme
Pro
Bull.
yes.
Okay.
Similar to the EX30.
Okay, and that's better because it has better suspension, better all around.
It has a really compliant suspension for street riding. It has a lot of good power because of the C40 motor and the 50S cells.
Then that's the Pro Plus.
That's the GT Pro Plus.
GT Pro Plus.
4,400 watt hours.
Yeah, and that's a lot better than this one because more battery, more oomph, more charging.
Correct.
Okay, then we have the xWay here, which is very similar to the Blitz in a way, but it's a bit heavier, and we don't really know what the use for it is, and it's not that innovative. But
it's like similar to the Blitz, but heavier, similar to the ET Max, but lighter.
Exactly. Like right in between.
Little brother.
We don't know how it will perform, and we are... It should be cool, but it doesn't bring so much to the table as, for example, the Naset wheel. So that's that. F22 Pro is the highest Kingsong wheel that we have on this list.
It's only because we have a lot of hopium and optimism for it.
Exactly. We're just like
Amazing.
we're just like looking forward to see how it is. That's why it's here. And we have the ET Max, which we bumped up just a second ago because it's a great riding wheel too. So yeah, then we have the A tier where we're just like the wheel we really like, or we think they're like cool for what they are sort of promising to do. T4, which is a great value wheel. T4 Max.
Sure.
And good power, good range, good a lot of hope in B tier. It's a great all-rounder and like
A great value proposition.
yeah, great value composition. That's a good way to say it. The Falcon, yeah, good small wheel. In general, just good performance. Good. I mean, value is a bit worse than with the T4, but it brings something different to the table.
But the performance it has in such a small package is quite cool.
Yeah, and it's such an enjoyable wheel to ride too. Like people that are starting out will love it. Yeah, it's quite a good wheel. Master V4 again, great value. We have it for years, but small improvements make the wheel better every year. Now with the DS200 shock, is it? With the DS200?
Yeah, the DS200, yeah.
It has a better suspension setup, and obviously probably the sliders are improved too. Everything is just a bit better. And it's a great all-around wheel. Like if you want to get into the performance market, yeah, this is it. Like pretty much. Blitz, it's here because it's almost S tier. I would say it's like A+, but we don't know yet how it will perform in the long run.
I mean, since we moved the Sherman L, maybe we should move the Blitz too.
Yeah, 2 chips.
Sure.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Oh, that's a cheater chip.
I feel like they're getting worse and worse, dude. Like every chip brings in more pain. So then we have the InMotion V14, which we have here. It's a great all-arounder. I think it just misses the mark a bit of being the super off-road wheel, which they sort of advertise it to be. Oh, poor you guys. Oh my. Oh. This is a great commuter wheel. People are really happy with it. Doesn't have much issues. It has great sort of reliability. Like mine doesn't have great reliability, but it's easy to work on. Great features, great trolley handle, great light. Yeah, it's a good package, just like me. And then we have what commander? What extreme bullet?
Commander Max. Commander Max.
Why is it here, Albert?
It is there because of some hopium. I'm hoping that the Commander Max is able to give me a Sherman L battery and performance in a smaller, tighter package, similar to what the Commander Mini did for the Patton.
I'm contemplating about eating a chip and put it into B tier, but I won't. I it's just too much.
I think it's better than the F22.
Oh,
that's true. It shouldn't be in the same category. Like, do we just judge wheels based on what Kingsong wheel is in the category? That's evil. Also, highlight Gabe. It's a great package, just like me. Wrong way 2024. Just a good value, dude. Just get a lot of bang for your buck. It's getting weird.
Kingsong makes other wheels look good.
Oh my, Kingsong will not love this stream. Wait, actually, let's follow this up. Is your wheel better than the S16? I'm like, not sure, so it stays here. Is your wheel like better than the F22? Yes. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. Just came so late. Also, just like me.
Okay, girls like that.
Yeah, they do. A lot of bang for your buck. Okay, I stop.
S tier, let's go.
S tier. InMotion E20. Amazing value, and it's Like it stands out so much from all the other wheels. It's such a great learner wheel. Pretty durable too, as you guys said. And yeah, it brings a lot of new riders into the community, so that's pretty S tier to me. The Extreme, because it's also great value, and it's just such a reliable wheel and so great to ride. A lot of people enjoying their Extremes, me included. I mean, I just sold mine, but that's just because I had too many wheels and too little money. So yeah, I already miss it. It's just such a great wheel to do anything on all around. Then we have the Lynx. A lot of people love the Lynx. A lot of comments about Lynx being an S tier, and I agree. It has its downsides, it had its hiccups, but now also with the new software, it rides so well. I highly encourage you to update this wheel immediately if you have a Lynx. So, but yeah, expensive. Then we have the Master Pro, because it's also just so different to everything that we have here. The stability of the 22-inch wheel, it can still do a lot. It can do trails, not easily, but it can do them. Solid features, I would say, and the biggest battery on the market. So yeah, that's why it's here. E25, because it will be a cheap wheel in the future. A lot of hopium here, but I think the hopium is well deserved. So very light wheel, also cheaper supposedly than the Falcon.
Cheaper, lighter than the Falcon, yeah.
So might be a big game changer and might shake things up a lot in the market in general, and like bring a lot of new riders into the field if it like will prove itself to be like reliable and good for those beginner riders. And we have the Sherman L, because you guys forced us to do it. We put it, just because I'm so pity.
Triggering.
Change my mind. I know. I like the Sherman L a lot. It does a lot of its things right. You know what? I'll eat another chip. You guys were right. It has a lot of battery. And it's reliable. And like, if you want a long range wheel, like between those two, probably this is the more reasonable option because it's smaller, easier to put into a car trunk and stuff.
Good Adam. Good Adam.
Adam, no, good Adam. Oh yeah, no, I agree with you guys. It should be here. It should be here. Like, it will still see if it will prove itself to be very reliable in the long run, but I don't think it'll be much. Adam just wanted 2 chips. No, believe me, I didn't want to. I really didn't. It's like the every next chip is just like getting worse. Then we have the Blitz in S tier, sharing this category with no Kingsong wheel, so it's a good category. Very powerful. It for me was also like really eye-opening to like ride it, because it's the software, the zippiness, the lightness. It brings a lot of new stuff to the table. So yeah, I think it's a very, very well-deserved S tier, but we'll see how durable it'll be in the long run. Oh, and I'm thinking, should I put it down a tier? What do you guys think?
Do you want to eat 2 chips?
No, I don't. No, I will not. I will not do that again. That was a mistake.
I think that like since the Sherman L
It's up there.
is up there, the Blitz should be there as well, just until it's proven otherwise, I guess. Just
Yeah.
because it brings like, I don't think anybody would have thought that we could have a 20-inch wheel at the 35 kilo mark.
Yeah, that's
with the
true.
performance it has and the responsiveness. So I think
Yeah.
it does bring a lot of good innovation to the table.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I don't want to eat any more chips. And then we have the Naset wheel. It isn't released yet, but it has like a lot of innovation coming to it, like especially of the suspension department. So yeah, it's a new player, it's a new company. So yeah, this might be just a very new, exciting new release in 2024/2025. So
Yeah, again, just to reiterate, when we first started this with a disclaimer for Green Master Mike, for the wheels that aren't released, we are putting them on this based on our excitement levels and based on a lot of hopium on the spec sheets and what we know of the wheels. These ratings can change for the new wheels as problems come up or as we learn more about the wheel. But we thought that we'd put them in here just as to gauge interest.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for the disclaimer here. So with that said, we are actually through with the list. I guess we can do maybe another 5 or 10 minutes tops of questions. Would you guys be up for that?
Yeah. Ask your questions now.
Yeah, ask your questions now. Type in the chat what you want to know from 2cells1pack, from Christine, from Albert, from me. If you have any questions regarding the new wheels, old wheels, what we think about wheels, and we will answer.
Really well.
Really well. We might. Oh my god, no pun. I don't have
beautiful wheels.
Beautiful wheels.
Which ones are beautiful?
I would say the Kingsong ball.
210 volt wheel. What do you know about it? I know it exists.
A 210 volt wheel?
Yes.
What?
It can be released maybe the next 6 months.
Exciting. I don't know anything about a 210 volt wheel. Next question. Power knobs for Nicola, Void cores. You know, whatever floats your boat. You can try them out. They're really comfortable with, with seated rides. So
I mean, the other thing with power knobs too is, it's good for seated riding, good for like a little bit for jumping, I'd say. But those are the two things that I would not recommend on a Nicola because
exactly
for a seat,
the axle,
a solid axle.
Yeah. You might try it, but like don't go ham with a Nicola.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the blue and purple wheels. Yeah, you got the blue and purple Blitzes and the blue and purple Falcons. One's covered by Christine's head.
Oh.
We are located in Vancouver, BC, Canada, for the time being.
Yeah, I actually was in Vancouver, and we met up live, and I was in Vancouver for 3 months, and then we had a bunch of adventures, which was super fun back in the day. I gotta go back.
Yeah, next year maybe.
Yeah.
Our weather is turning, like we only have like 3 or 4 months of the riding season here. So maybe next summer Wrongway can come back and have some fun.
I would love to.
I don't know, we'll find out. Begode 210 volt, yeah, it's coming. If you guys had only 2 wheels to pick to use as your own, which would they be? You want to go first, Adam?
Right. I know. Like one of them would have to be a jump wheel, and I would probably go for either Blitz or Lynx. But because I don't have any backup, I would probably even choose the Lynx because I have just maybe a bit more faith in it in terms of reliability. But I'm not sure. Like it would be either one of those, either the Blitz or the Lynx as one of them. And the second one would be a small wheel. I would say probably either like or maybe the Falcon. I think the Falcon would be a great pick for that. And then I could also teach people to ride on those. What about you guys?
Blitz.
And?
Yeah. And can I say the E25?
Sure.
Sure.
I want something lighter.
Yeah.
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 I think for me the Blitz would be my main wheel, but then I would find that the Blitz's range would be a little bit too low for the speeds I like to ride.
The xWay, right?
So I would probably want something with a bigger battery. So that's why I'm kind of excited for the Commander Max or the Sherman L maybe.
Okay, so here it is.
Yeah. What else is there? What are the specs for the IM E25? Well, it's not a released wheel, so we'll find out soon. Green Master Mike, after the Master V4, is there any of these wheels that Begode made that justify the price to buy for an average rider, not a pro rider? Honestly, like, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm a little bit biased, but I think the Blitz is actually a really good all-around wheel just due to its responsiveness and lightweight. That would be the wheel for me. Like it's kind of a wheel that just kind of sits really properly in the middle without being like super high speed, super high torque, super whatever. It's just like right smack dab in the middle.
That's true, and it also has good features for an average rider. Like the light in the front is very good. The taillight maybe not so much, but because it's lighter, it's also easy to push it around. You can also just shove it in the car a bit easier. Yeah, I think it's a good all-around package. Although currently it's a lot more expensive than a Master V4. So
I think it's like $500, right? Difference.
I know, like the Masters are usually like heavily discounted already. So sometimes like you can catch one for a good price.
Yeah, but like there's people who buy the Master, then they upgrade. Like you add the fairing kits, you add the suspension changes.
True.
Let's say you go to like 130 mil Ho Ning Ning kit, and like all that price difference disappears.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, still the Blitz is an overall better riding wheel, I would say, than Extreme.
Yeah.
More zippy and therefore also more like beginner friendly.
Yeah. Rob Boulderman has a question for
Blitz
Blitz or V14 for urban commute.
Blitz.
I would take the Blitz.
It's a lot lighter.
I know, like for me the biggest difference is the trolley handle, and the trolley handle on the V14 is really awesome. So it would really depend for me on that, but usually with the Blitz I just put my helmet into the trolley handle where it like sticks out, and that works well too. So yeah, it's also better suspension, like more travel. So yeah, I think I would go with Blitz here too, just like you guys.
Do you use spike tires in the winter?
Like Volt Rider Team or Fearless?
I mean, I know a lot of people who use studs. They stud like a Kenda Nabi or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can get like the Shinko tires and stud them.
Yeah.
I personally don't like riding in extreme cold or wet or dirty. So I'm a fair weather rider kind of guy.
I never tried it. It was just always too much hassle for me to make the studded pedals. And additionally, you know, I have wooden flooring here, and like the first thing I would take it in, I would just write out forget that I have studded tires, and I would just like ruin the floor. So yeah. If I had a garage, perhaps. Oh, someone asked. Yeah, same here. We didn't have it here because it didn't come out in 2024. But actually, didn't the V13 Pro come out this year?
It did, yeah.
Oh, I think we messed
up. But the thing is, like, I thought it was such a small change because all they did was
it was a tiny change. It was a tire color change and like 10 kilometers an hour more. 10 kilometers an hour more.
I mean, if you really want a rating, it'd be like a solid C.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like it's right next to the F22 Pro.
It just doesn't live to it doesn't live to the level of the S9. So.
Oh, definitely not, and it's not as bad as the S16.
Yeah.
Wait, so does that mean to be a B tier?
No, B tier exactly.
Oh, B tier.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it in B.
But I think the use case for it is very similar as the ET Max.
Yeah, but with just less performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Less
but
torque,
more stability.
Less range, less speed.
More stability though.
Yeah.
And like I would say better accessories like the light better, trolley handle better, taillight better.
Yeah. Matthias is asking if waterproofing of EUCs is already on a level that you not much care about water. Yeah, I mean, like for me, like I don't really care about Begode's advertising about riding wheels through lakes and rivers.
Absolutely not. You shouldn't do that.
We kind of did that during our proposal, but I think it is at a point where like I'm not worried about riding in rain, and that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Same here. We got a long way since like you know I had I think 5 separate instances of cutouts like 4 years ago on Begode wheels. Like it's crazy how fast it's shifted to a better world. I had a MSP cutout on a speed bump because I didn't close the charge port. It was hot and water got in and just like shorted the board. I had a cutout on a bump on an MSP when I was going in rain. I had a cutout on an EX when I was going in rain and going downstairs. So usually, bumps are not the best idea for riding in rain. And or was it really 5? Maybe it was just 3. Maybe I was over speculating, or I just don't remember something. But it was a lot back in the day. Oh yeah, there you go, Mateusz. My RS at the moment works like an aquarium.
I mean, like back in the RS and EXN days, like if you
Yeah.
rode it out in the rain, you'd have to make sure your wheels upright or not tilted onto the control board side and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I still
like,
have that though. I still have that. Like I take the Lynx back home. I'm like,
Yeah.
I won't put it on the kickstand. I just let it dry and like against the wall.
Yeah. But I mean, that's like things that we really worried about back in the day when now like people who join the market nowadays kind of take that for granted. Like it is what it is, you know?
Exactly. It's amazing to like get into the EUC world today and have all of those options. Like back in the day, you were like happy about the S22, which as we can see by the rating here is as good as the S22 Pro.
But I mean, like I would say too is like torque and speed limits are so high now.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
Like yes, you can reach them. Yes, you can over torque wheels, but like they're so high that like we're getting to that 90th percentile, 95th percentile of people who will never reach them.
Yeah, back in the day, you were sort of having the beeps loud, so you could hear them if it happens. And now I always turn the beeper to like almost like barely hearable because I never hear it. Like the beeps just don't happen all that often.
Yeah.
And a Viking gifted another Wrong Way membership, so thank you for that.
Mikolaj Zimin.
Mikołaj Zaman. He's from here, from Warsaw too.
I like to imagine a world where the F22 absolutely takes off and revolutionizes the EUC space. Everyone is ditching their Lynxes. New force suspension tech.
You would need to eat so many chips, Mikołaj, to bring that F22 up. We would face a lot of resistance. Oh yeah.
Is the Master Pro waterproof at all? No, I'd say no. Not really. Like I would definitely put a cap on it if you're riding in rain. Is my 2 cents.
That's usually how people ride it. Like I never had any issues with it, but it's not the newest generation. But maybe with the newest Master Pro, I don't know.
No, I think it's all the same. I don't think they have any rubber seals or anything.
Oh, okay. Here a question, Artame by EUC Chasing Pavements. Did you ever ride a Rockwheel GT16? Yes, and I have even a video about it. You guys know the GT16.
Yeah.
It's a very small wheel. Probably Christine, you would love it. It's so like agile and responsive. Yeah. I don't think there were many sold in the US though, or in Canada, and most of them I think were sold in France, out of all places. So yeah, that's where you can find the rock wheels. What headphones are those? Those are like cheap Sony headphones. They're like $80 or something. I don't really even know. I just bought them impulsively, like most of the stuff I'm doing in life. How much time do you guys have left?
I mean, we can wrap it up in like 8 minutes.
Yeah, so we have a 3.5 hour stream. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's so long.
That's crazy.
Okay, last 8 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
That's just like me. Oh boy. What? How many? Wait a minute. It's like spare parts. Like, how long would they keep making spare parts? Like, how long would it be supporting them?
I mean, it supports it decently long, I would say. Like, even if you look at the Master or the S22, you can still get spare parts for them.
Yeah,
and the Master
don't get any for the RS. But you won't get any like for 5-year-old wheels, I guess.
No, I'd say like
the veteran Sherman or like the RS or something. Yeah. Then the only way is to get like a VESC controller or something.
Yeah.
Like 3D print your own parts.
Pad tier list next. I mean, that'd be a really short video.
Yeah, really short video.
I mean, with pads though, it really, again, it's more so than wheels, but it really depends on your riding style and riding environment. So it's super dependent. Like, it's way too many variables.
That's true.
150 for most, the later time. And I'm not sure.
I think that's the amount of viewers we had most of the time, maybe.
I see.
Oh, Grzegorz, I made a backwards jump today. Grzegorz
Yeah, I just saw you
bread.
post that video before the live stream.
Yeah. I was actually preparing for that for a long time, but I was never like in the mood for it. But today was the day. So yeah. A teeny tiny backwards jump.
When
Green Master Mike, what do you guys think about having tire pressure sensor on wheels?
Would be cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the PidZoom has their tire pressure monitoring systems.
Sure.
I think it's good to keep track of your tire pressure, but I mean, whether you need to buy it, it's like I usually just check mine like every once in a while. Yeah,
I'm like, if it starts to be too comfortable, I'm like, I need to change the pressure.
Yeah, like you'll get to a point where you kind of ride a wheel and you'll know like, okay, this is too comfortable. I need to pump some more air in. But I mean, yeah, just check it every so often. Usually, I say like every once a month or so, depending on how much you ride, just to make sure that like the tire valve doesn't get ripped by the rim or something along those lines.
Yeah, no worries. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, stress typing. No worries. No worries. we got through it. Right, guys. Any questions left? We got 5 minutes left of the stream.
Hey, Adam, you should go to China with Marty and Roger.
I want to go to China. I don't know if I'll go there like on a mutual trip with someone. I don't know. We'll see.
You should come to China during the race, Adam.
It's actually during my birthday.
You can celebrate your birthday there.
I don't know. I think I wanna stay home and celebrate with the people that are here.
That's
Although
fair.
I love a lot of people that I love will be also on the race. So yeah, it's a bit of a heartbreak, but I think I'll stay here though.
Veteran Patton is still good nowadays.
I think so.
The patent court sort of like came and went. I don't think many people got the patent, and Gabe will be like, "The patent is amazing."
If he's still here. I mean, like, would I buy one today? I probably wouldn't.
Nah, the suspension travel is just so little.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
great
think
for
the
like
Platinum
commuting.
and the V14 are. Oh, there he is.
There you go.
He's back. He's back.
I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either.
It used to be
The
okay.
patent is amazing, man. Best wheel ever made. S tier. Oh no, that would be bad actually. Who has the best software? Yeah.
Oh, this is the question.
The wheel that isn't in the S tier for me.
Oh,
Don't you love Kingsong software?
Kingsong has the best riding software.
It's amazing.
They just cheap out on their hardware too much.
Christine, do you like Kingsong software too?
It's good. The S16 rides okay, but it's just
Just what?
disappointed.
Yeah, Kingsong doesn't have the
Kingsong
hardware
has really
to back it
stable
up.
firmware. Really stable. Like when you go through berms or you go off roading, like it's very predictable.
Yeah, and when you accelerate, it's just like you can feel it so well.
Yeah.
And then like if it falls to the side, you can bring it up and it's like beep, just goes.
Yeah, Kingsong is still like, if I were to rate firmware, like Kingsong is number one.
Yeah.
Who's number two?
I would put Begode because of the amount of customization you can do to it too.
Okay.
With the pedal tilt angle adjustment when you go into turns and like different modes and that stuff. I would put like Begode second.
Oh, we got like 2 minutes and a half.
Oh,
Guys, comment. What do you guys want to see in future wheels?
Oh, that's a good idea.
What are some things, hardware, firmware, software, whatever it is? What do you want to see in future wheels?
Yeah, if you want to buy a new wheel in the future, like what's holding you back?
Or what would you want? Like what kind of aspirational thing do you look for?
For me, it's a built-in charger. I know people hate on it, but I want to carry just the cable with me. I want to... Oh, you know what? Just bring me a Type 2 plug.
Like the EV charger one?
Yeah. I just want to charge there.
Lightweight wheels, USB-C, reliability, amen. Higher pedal.
MSP V2.
IQ Mark says, has the repairability of commanders improved? The taillight wires get disconnected. I would say it's about the same. I mean, it's still not great. Like, I think Begode stepped it up a lot with the Blitz with all these connectors that they used, but Extreme Bull hasn't done it yet. So no cutout and faster charging, Green Master Mike. So no cutout. I mean, like, I don't think that will ever really exist because there's always going to be a limit. Faster charging, like, we're going to get to a limit with faster charging because the EV chargers that are available can only pump out so much. So there's a limitation.
I want to see a 22-inch wheel for off-road. I love bigger.
I mean, I made one.
Wheels. I want that so much. I saw Kevin ride it, right? He has it.
Yeah. I sold it to Kevin.
I want to ride
my
it
22-inch Master.
It's brilliant. Cool. It's brilliant. Yeah, we want that.
I mean, I just think that the market is a bit small for that, though.
Yes, but I'll make it bigger. That's what she. Yeah.
I want my EUC to have an AI chatbot personality to speak to me. It's like, please accelerate. No.
Emotion to do that.
A suspension wheel that's
Please
sub
repair.
32 kilos and 2,700 watt hours. So I don't think that's actually possible. Because if you do the math, like if you look at the Blitz, like if you go to the electric unicycle forum, there's a chart of the components on the Blitz and how much they weigh. And the motor and battery make up like 85% of the wheel. Right. And like if you do the math on that, I think I did the math with someone, but like if you take the battery and the motor and the pedals, that's basically like 30 kilos.
Wait, I have a solution. 2,700 watt hour wheel with suspension, 10-inch tire diameter. M10 2,700 watt hour with suspension.
How much suspension travel are you talking?
A centimeter. It has to be light.
Hey, Gabe, with your 30-inch wheel, I don't think you can even mount that thing.
I'm sure Gabe can.
You're not that tall, Gabe. Don't lie.
I can mount that thing.
You'd have to like run and jump.
Oh, that would be like a penny far thing. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I want that. Make me a 30-inch wheel. Like, yeah, Gabe could ride that too, for sure.
Some sort of quick release wheel with motor cable connector for easy tire change. The only issue with the motor cable connectors, they have so much current that like the connectors, if you properly spec them, need to be quite large. I mean,
M10
5-minute
Max.
tire change.
Nah, I don't see that happening. No.
I mean, it's gonna take you more than 5 minutes just to put the tire on and off.
Did you ever change the tire in the bicycle though, Albert?
No.
It's so freaking simple. It's crazy. You don't need tools for it. You just like make this wish thing come out and then take the axle out. You have the tire out. That's it.
Oh, you mean getting access to the tire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting access to the tire, yes. I haven't done the tire change part specifically.
Right. Motor bearings to last as long as the batteries.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah. Oh, actually, we went past time already, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, guys. It was a forever stream. Thanks so much for 2cells1pack, for Christine, Albert, to join us here for this wonderful EUC tier list. We will save this stream so you can look at the tier list later and bash on what we said about those wheels. And yeah, you got anything more to say, Albert, Christine?
No, tons of fun. Like time really passed super quickly. It's
true.
always a great time with Mr. Wrong Way.
Thanks, Albert. Thanks, Christine. Thanks for the
Hopefully
chips,
you
too.
guys all got something out of it, and you may not agree with us, but it's just another opinion.
Exactly. Okay. So cheers. Take care, guys.
Take care.